And we're live.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening and good morning.
It's a Thursday night as we record this. I've spent the day playing tug of war with other adults in my workplace.
I feel like...
It's a real job that I do.
Yeah. And each time Ryan actually decides to play tug of war in schools, I would like to just say that you rarely win.
It was more like I felt like I had to make an excuse when my voice is slightly off today. Because I was literally screaming at the top of my lungs, 1, 2, heave.
You were howling till your lungs hurt.
And I had to stop myself when we won the one tug of war match we actually won from screaming, let's fucking go, and knee sliding on the dry ass grass in front of 500 kids.
Yeah, and a little known fact is that grass stains don't come out of clothes.
Bloodstains don't come out of dry grass.
No. What you... No. What?
If you knee slide on dry grass, you ain't get no
Oh.
grass stains, you just get fucking bloodstains, mate.
I'm irritated by this commentary already.
Get ready for it, because you're going to have to get used to it, because this one's going to be a few hours.
Well, no. What I will say is actually...
I have to say it every time.
That's a perfect segue, because whilst Ryan is chatting shit about bloody knees and grass stains, you have to remember that all things must pass, including this awful commentary.
Honestly, all things must pass away, like this absolute piece of shit we're saying
Yeah,
right
we
now.
need to bury this shit.
Anyway, yeah, so it's one that obviously we spoke about last time we finished the George Michael commentary, critique, whatever you want to call it.
I wouldn't even go that far, really.
Critical analysis. It was quite deep, really.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, but also let's not forget who we are. I mean...
George Michael stands.
No, I'd rather say we're two fucking idiots, and we're just kind
Or
of...
we're the titular two twats, right?
Oh...
We've both done one now. It's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so we were kind of excited about this. Problem being that I've been at work for the last week since we last recorded the pod. And sometimes that drains the fucking soul out of me. So I haven't been that motivated. However, I only have one more day left until I finish for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's also my birthday tomorrow. So I've got big birthday eve vibes right now, where I want to review an album that's almost 2 hours long.
Yeah. And what I will say is there's a very fitting track on you for this album.
What?
It's a birthday track.
Come on, we can't jump ahead like that.
Well, no, I'm sorry. I mean, that
wasn't... First you jumped to All Things Must Pass, now you're jumping to fucking Johnny Stromboli Pepperoni. Right? That's the song, isn't it?
Right, let's go. Should we... Because, come on, it's going to be a long one.
All right, yeah, let's not fuck about. So, just to explain to any of you that were missing out on what shit we're chatting, today we are going to review George Harrison's 1970, technically his debut, technically his not, solo album, All Things Must Pass.
Mm-hmm.
It was released on the 27th of November on, obviously, the Beatles' Apple label. George Harrison was the main producer, but also Phil Spector was in charge of a lot of overdubs, things like that as well. It runs for exactly 106 minutes, otherwise known for the layman, or the lame men, as 1 hour and 46 minutes. 23 bloody songs. The original recording, over 3 discs. It's a triple album. It's a bloody triple album, mate. Would you like to know singles on the album? I did a bit of extra research for this, because we normally talk about it.
Yeah, I'd like to know. Can I guess?
Go.
But All Things Must Pass.
No.
No. Okay.
You just crashed and burned, baby.
I've fallen at the first hurdle. That's crazy. Right, okay, let me guess. Can I guess the rest?
Yes.
What Is Life?
Yes, that was the final single, only released in the US.
I would also go for... this is hard.
I'll give you a clue. There's only one more single
Only one more single.
of all 23 songs.
My Sweet Lord.
It was. And it was released initially in the US as a double A side.
Oh,
With
interesting.
the other A side being the version 1 of Isn't It a Pity?
Ah, okay, nice.
And then in the UK it was just released. It was the only single was My Sweet Lord. Which is
That's
probably
interesting.
why I have the thoughts I have in it when we get to that song. Yeah, so this is a song that this is an album that I hadn't heard until about 6 months ago, would you say?
Yeah.
You grew up with it. You were one of those weird 9-year-olds that wasn't listening to the Black Eyed Peas 3 pods in a row. And fucking Sugar Babes and shit. You were just there listening to the triple album of 1970s George Harrison's.
Well, what I
Nothing's
would
Must
say
Pass.
was George was my sugar babe. That's
He was the one.
he was the true sugar babe, and
Did he send you right round?
he really
Baby
did.
right round.
Yeah, he really did.
Did he make you push the button on your CD player?
I'm really not happy with this because I'm 9 years old in this context.
I wish I knew more Sugar Babes puns.
Yeah, I wish you did as well, because then we could keep it going for the next 2 hours, and that would be really good.
I'm sure the listeners would love that. But shall
sure.
we get into it?
Yeah, that'd be great, because
Okay.
I'm itching. I don't know if you can tell. I'm
Itching?
like dying
Do you
to
need,
go.
do you need something getting checked out?
Give up. I'm dying to get on with this.
Are you?
Yeah, it's a great album.
Okay, right. Oh, don't spoil it.
All right, sorry.
Come on, what if nobody's heard this before?
I mean, I've grown up with it. 'Cause
Okay, fine. Right, anyway. We'll probably talk for this. We sort of imitated this when we listened to it earlier this evening, where even though we listened to it on Spotify, because we don't own it on record, we
Not yet.
listened to it almost as a record. We listened to the different discs with little breaks in between, which was interesting. So yeah, we're starting on side A of disc 1 with the song I'd Have You Anytime.
Oh, what a cracker of a song. So I'd Have You Anytime. I don't know. There's like, I mean, I actually think it's a really interesting opener for an album, because you're ultimately plunged into this, like, well, I first read it as like like a desperate longing for someone, but it's actually it was written, I think it's kind of the perfect song on reflection as an adult, because it was written with Bob Dylan. And that's where it gets a little bit interesting for me, because it was at the time when Bob Dylan had actually had a motorbike accident, and he was a little bit more quiet, a little bit less confident. And George Harrison and him got together to write some songs, and it was kind of like Bob came up with the lyrics and George came up with the melody, and it kind of fit together. And there's multiple songs on this album where they just fucking nail it.
Yeah, we'll get to them later on as well, won't we?
Yeah, it's just a fabulous, fabulous song. It really is.
Nice.
I love it.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I agree with you. It's a very good song. I really enjoy it. And my first thought when I listened to it, and the way it sort of flowed into track 2, which we'll get onto in a bit, it doesn't feel like a conventional opener for an album.
I don't
to
think
me,
so.
like at all. It's a really strange song. Like full stop. Even though it's a really good song, it's a strange song. And like an opener for an album either introduces the album, might introduce the themes of what sort of things you might hear, or it might get the album going, or even gradually builds. Whatever. This sort of does none of this. It honestly does none of that. But it's a very good song in itself. I've actually written down my notes here, not a conventional opener or a conventional oven. But
A conventional oven.
yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. I knew you'd appreciate that. But I think it weirdly works as an opener, not in spite of itself, but with the track 2 in mind. I don't know what I mean myself there, but I think it wouldn't work as well as an opener if we didn't have the track 2 that we do. I'll get to this on a number of other songs as well, because I did sort of, like, when I listened to it earlier, I noticed a couple of, like, themes or, like, vibes I had while listening to songs. This song gives off weird vibes.
Weird, in what way?
Like the chord progression, like even like musically, it's not normal. It's odd. It's not familiar. It's not what you expect. It gives off weird vibes. It's chill, but also mysterious. And it's got that like crazy like guitar lick at the start that again goes places you don't expect it to. And
I think
like,
it's quite a silky guitar.
Yeah, but it's smooth, but it's like unnerving as well. It's a really strange but good song to me.
I think, I mean, you know Bob Dylan songs. The way that he kind of plays guitar is he moves his capo up and down, and he kind of uses the same few chords. There's kind of nothing really dynamic to his guitar work.
But I'm guessing that's why George Harrison really sort of like aided that, because he is a bit more creative.
And I think, I mean, in these kind of sessions that they maybe had together, I mean, can I just read you this little bit that George's wife wrote about the situation of them writing this song?
Of course.
George's most important relationships were really conducted through their music and through lyrics. I mean, George, I'd have you any time. The song that George and Bob wrote together, Let Me In Here, I Know I've Been Here, Let Me Into Your Heart. He was talking directly to Bob because he'd seen Bob, and then he'd seen Bob another time and he didn't seem as open. And so that was his way of saying, let me in here, let me into your heart. But the point is they would... I fucking hate you so much. You've got this stupid smudge aura now. That they would come together to write songs. And the point of it was that Bob... Oh, fuck's sake. Bob was really... I fucking hate you so much. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. You're kind of ruining this for me. It's my favourite album
look at you
ever.
Just while you say your bit, because I'm feeling
Thank
silly.
you.
Carry on.
All right. Well. So.
Stop doing the pauses, because that's where I want to laugh.
Well, no, it's because you're looking at the wall. It's just. Right. Okay. So for the benefit of the radio, Ryan is laying down, trying to drink a cup of tea, but not facing me anymore. He's facing the wall.
Like I'm in trouble.
I'd argue that it's more off-putting doing that.
Would you just stare directly into your soul?
No, I actually think that you can't win in
just
any
a happy
situation.
medium where I have one eye on the wall, one eye on you.
Yeah.
Like this.
Actually, I'd like the other eyes facing the other way, so they're both looking outwards. Do you know what? I'm not even going to go into the rest of what I was going to say about that song.
It ain't worth it. Ain't worth it.
It's not worth it. It's a fucking good song. I mean,
yes, it is.
I think. I just think their partnership was really, really good.
I agree.
And I really like the way that there's a lot of stuff written about their friendship, because they had a really long friendship. And I don't know, it's just a very romantic, very nice way of looking at each other and friends. And I like their kind of spiritual connections as well.
Kinship is the word I'd use to describe it.
Yeah, it's really nice. So, yeah, I think that song's perfect for it. Next.
I'm only singing that just to help me out in the editing process. Yes, bloody My Sweet Lord, My Sweet Boy. I would say My Sweet Lord is Marks and Spencer's Percy Pigs. The only Sweet Lord for us filthy vegans. Please give us a sponsorship. Anyway, My Sweet Lord. So, seeing as you started the last one, shall I start this one?
Mm-hmm.
So, full disclosure, I'm a filthy casual. All right, I didn't know this song, nay any George Harrison songs, until I heard this song on the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack.
That
Do you
upsets me
still love me?
greatly. Yeah, I do. I don't
I mean,
respect you, but I
blame my
love you.
dad. You know, he no, because
No.
he's a huge George Harrison fan, but I don't recall ever listening to it at home or in the car or anything. Genuinely, up until the point I heard My Sweet Lord, and then I started to like hear it in his car and shit. It was weird. Maybe it opened my eyes.
Well, maybe he was always playing it and you just never
Maybe I just ignored
realised.
it.
Yeah.
To be fair, it does have the song itself just feels familiar. Even when you first hear it, it feels familiar.
Well, that's ironic. That's ironic because can I segue
Look, I'm
into
fucking
this?
blowing my nose down the bloody mic now and sighing. Why is it ironic?
Because this was the song that he was found guilty for plagiarism.
That I didn't know.
So it was subconscious plagiarism, and it took 2 decades to resolve, and he lost.
So he was found guilty.
He was found guilty.
Shit. What did he plagiarise? Do you know?
Yeah, it was. Let me check. I think it's "He's So Fine." Let me just check. Yeah, "He's So Fine" by the Chiffrons, and I'll be honest, I've listened to it, and I mean, like they're similar, but also
Is it like the same chords or melody or?
Um, mm, I think it's maybe some of the same chords, some of the same melody, but it's a very, very different song.
Interesting. But yeah.
But yeah, there you go.
Yeah, this is the song. I said earlier that it was the only single that was properly released in the UK. The only person who's more of a filthy George Harrison casual than me is my own mum. Where since my dad, full disclosure, we listened to the 50th anniversary version of All Things Must Pass that came out in 2020. Difference being same track listing, just with extra sort of like demo cuts at the very, very end of the album. Only difference being the first 4 sides had been sort of remixed into full stereo, and different bits have been changed. Sides 5 and 6, aka disc 3, they were just kept saying just remastered. But yeah, so my dad had the 50th anniversary version. Whenever he listened to it in the car with my mum, this is the one where she's like, "Oh, this is such a great song. Oh, it's just a good song, isn't it?" And it's the one she audibly praises if it's on. The rest of them she'll just sit there silently and just like, this is a song. But My Sweet Lord comes on. Oh, what a great song! And to be honest, it is. It is a bloody good song. It's a 5-star song in my eyes. It's a very much a single, for sure, in context of the rest of the album. But it's just a bloody good song, isn't it? There's not much else I can say apart from that. Apart from my one complaint, I like to sing along to songs. You know that. Why make such a singable song when the entire like last minute of the song is just George rattling off religious people's names that change so frequently that I can never keep up, or learn the order, or be ready for.
Yeah, I mean, I completely feel you on that one. I've been listening to this album, since I was young, and I can't still rattle them off. They're confusing to me.
You get your bloody Hare Krishnas and your fucking Guru Mollies mixed up,
Yeah.
I've
Sorry,
probably offended a lot of people there.
I did a nose breath on the mic. Yeah, I think that is definitely a downfall to the song, but the song, and I can't no, this was a George Harrison thing, but it also kind of, there was a few people around the time who were doing it, but kind of wanted to bridge different religions together in kind of a unison in song, and have this underlying theme of we're all human and we're all searching for what you gonna say?
Now, I did a bit of a deep dive while we listened to this album.
Oh, fun.
I found out one thing about the links to that, because obviously George Harrison at the time was obviously a practicing Hindu, and gone through all of the sort of spiritual enlightenment in India and all that sort of thing. He wanted to mix elements of like that sort of traditional Hindu music with gospel music. So it started off, he was
Yeah,
trying
of
to write a
course.
gospel song, and it turned out that he made this.
I love it. I think it's so interesting. There's quite a few songs I think that do have those gospel elements, and kind of Christian kind of
Very spiritual, aren't they?
yeah, very spiritual indeed. Yeah, absolutely, indeed.
Yeah. Anything else to add about this song?
No, I think it's a really great song. I kind of fall into the category where I've heard it so much now that when it's on the album, it's like, yeah, I like this song, but also it's not my top
On
song.
its own, as a single, incredible, but
5 stars.
other things make it pale in comparison in the album. Yeah.
I think maybe for me it's down to the fact that it's been overplayed a bit.
Yeah, I can tell that. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, and then we get into the next track.
Go.
Okay, so this song was written in the Let It Be sessions. And we watched that documentary.
Yes, the Peter Loki one. Lord of the Rings
that
man.
one. Yeah. Well, this song, basically, he wanted it to go on the Let It Be album, and they rejected it. So there's quite a few songs.
Do you know why he wrote it?
Yes, I do.
Go on, then.
Because at the time, I think him and Paul had an argument.
They'd had a falling out, and basically he was pissed. So just went home and wrote "Wah Wah."
He went home. Yeah. I mean, sorry. I think when you listen to when you watch the documentary, you can kind of see the tension brewing, and you do get to see the point where George does end up kind of walking
Yeah, it's
away.
not comfortable.
No, it's not. It's so hard to watch. And do you know what is equally hard to watch? Is George recommend things and come up with melodies and ideas and lyrics, and they get shot down, and that's just hard as well.
It's tragic knowing that in even just the documentary that was filmed, Peter Jackson, that's who it was. Peter Jackson. And
Peter
Peter
Gabriel.
Jackson directed. There's about 3 or 4 songs from this album that he actually tries to pitch to the rest of the Beatles, and they just get fucking shot down every time, and it's like, oh my god, you just missed out on an incredible song there.
But aren't we blessed to get this album?
Oh, for sure. So I've obviously found out little bits about the song after I listened to the album and wrote my notes about what I felt. I'm not gonna lie, I think this song's shit. I fucking ragged on this song. It's not the worst on the album. I'll say that, and I think you probably agree with me on which one it is. But I'm just gonna list off my notes here. So, I said the only reason I can come up with for George writing this song, obviously before I knew the real reason, was that in the actual song itself, he does use a wah-wah pedal on his guitar. And that's the only reason I can see him actually writing the song, is because he just bought a new wah-wah pedal. Because apart from that, what the fuck is this song? Like, it's one of the only duds on this album, and why does it go on for so long? Did George think that was necessary? Did maybe he pay a lot of money for his wah-wah pedal and he wanted to get good value for money?
I'm itching to say stuff.
Well, you're gonna
now.
have to wait, because I'm doing a bit.
Oh.
All right. The serious bit now, rather than me just doing a bit. This one is where I'm gonna take my ragging on George Harrison and transfer it to Mr. Spector. And whereas so many songs on this album, they feel like instrumentally and compositionally, they're all there. They're not too much, not too little. Very much Goldilocks, and everything's less is more and layered properly. You can hear every element, and it's exciting. This is just so full on and shit. It's taking the wall of sound, which I like, and just it's too much. It's too much for me. Right, go. You can say your stuff now.
Do you know what? I feel like we've got our first disagreement. Whilst Wawa is not the best song on the album by any means, and dare I even say it, I would be inclined to skip this if it came up on shuffle. I don't know. I think it's the perfect length.
No.
I really like the instrumentation in this.
What? Are you kidding?
So no, I'm not. I'm not.
I thought we'd agree on this.
No, I mean, it's not the best song. I'm not saying it's, amazing.
No, and to be fair, I did actually say at the very end of it, and that's the last thing I will say. Any other album, this should be like an okay-ish song. At best. Anyway, go.
Well, what I will say is the fact that it's so long, right? So when you think about the song, when I was listening to it and I was thinking about that he's written this, I think for me it's a tantrum song, and that's the way I view it. And when he's going through his kind of repetitive tantrums, the thing that's carrying him through is like this drum beat, and it's completely kind of going right through it.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, because I think this record as well, it's got to, in some capacity, consider the fact that he's just departed from the Beatles, and it kind of, it was a hard time, obviously. And I think the point of Wah Wah is, I think it's really clever because you've got all these noises, all these instruments, all these, I don't know, this body of sound, and he's kind of navigating through it and having these little tantrums, but he's like, pull through, and then he's wah wah, and then it's pull through again, and then it's wah wah. And I don't know, I really like it. I just think it's clever.
No, actually, I can see that.
I think as well is the sound for me is like, I can only describe it as kind of circular. It kind of, for me, it kind of comes back around. Yeah, and I think that's why it's clever. So I think it's a tantrum track, but for me, I think it's a little bit more than that.
Yeah, no, I see that. And I think, especially the bit you were saying about how you do need, in this relatively, I don't know, relaxed album, those songs that are a bit more full on. I just think he does it better in some other places.
Yeah.
That'll be my finalised point on that one.
I will say in the remastered versions as well, is when you listen to the chorus of Wah Wah, there's this like reverb on his voice that comes in like a wow wow wow, and it's so nice. It's so nice.
Can I get a wow wow?
Wow wow wow.
Honestly, the listeners are going to love that.
I'm sure.
There's a lot of replayability right there.
Isn't it a pity that I'm going to be doing more of these sounds? And that leads us on to the next song, which is Isn't It a Pity?
That's like going, girl, isn't it a pity, version 1, that I'm going to make these sounds? Yes, so to be specific, it's Isn't It a Pity, version 1. The version 1 of 2 different versions that are on this album.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go into the straight up which one's better debate, like I did with the George Michael one on the last album. I just want to talk about this album, this song for a little bit. So, in terms of, if we listen to this album in chronological order, this is just the best track so far.
Really?
100%. Like, I would bet my fucking left toe on it. It's that good. This was the song when we first listened to it, and I still have the same exact reaction now. It's the same thing I had with George Michael, where you just reach that point where you hit a song and you're like, oh shit, like, this is timeless. This is perfect. This song this is flawless. You couldn't change anything about it. and you just appreciate music as just this beautiful, wonderful thing. That's what this song is to me. And even just, the song, it gives off like so many almost like visuals in your head of just like almost like this person sort of like having these reflections and thinking about the past and the future and what that might look like, and almost like looking into the reflection of a placid pond and the face looking back at him, if I'm being very metaphorical here. It's a fucking long song. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of long songs compared to you, but I'm not gonna lie, this is one of those songs, it could go on 20 minutes, I don't think I'll be sick of it. Genuinely,
Agreed.
it's that good. It's simple, but complex in the way it builds up its layers, and it starts off, low and slow. It's not a pacey song at all, but the layers build up towards the end where he reaches this crescendo, which is like unbelievable. And like even the lyrics, 50 years later, isn't it a pity? Isn't it a shame how we break each other's hearts and cause each other pain? How we take each other's love without thinking anymore, forgetting to give back. Isn't it a pity? Like, I know you could argue they're quite generic in the sense that you could take what George is saying and take it in whatever sort of direction or idea you want to suit it to. But how relevant is that to, the world we're living in right now, 50 years later as well? So I think all of those sort of contributing factors, I'm not going to sort of like keep talking about it because I do want to let you talk, and there's more I want to say, but I feel like I'm just going to keep gushing about this song otherwise. I think all those contributing factors I've talked about so far just make this such a strong song, and like the perfect song to end the first side as well.
Oh, thank goodness you said it. Yeah, for sure.
You're welcome.
I agree. I think, do you know, it's funny because I make kind of very, very brief notes where I maybe have like 3 bullet points of just words. And they don't really make any sense, but they're kind of like prompts, I guess. And it's funny that, isn't it a pity, this is the only one that I've written lyrics down for. So we were obviously on the same kind of wavelength.
For sure.
But yeah, I've put here that I think this song is the perfect unfolding of what George does best. It's simple, but his voice kind of carries everything. It carries you through hopelessness and kind of regaining strength, but then also kind of dropping you back down into like a boiling pool of tears.
Wow. I mean, it's slightly different metaphor to the one I had. Mine was a bit more calm.
Yeah. I just think it's a glorious song. I think, yeah, like you said about the kind of music behind his vocal, I don't know, it almost kind of grows through the track.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like it's just completely natural. And the lyrics I've written down here is, some things take so long, but how do I explain when not too many people can see we're all the same? And because of all their tears, their eyes can't hope to see the beauty that surrounds them. Isn't it a pity? And I don't know, I just think,
Wow, isn't it a pity?
it is a pity. It's a massive pity. And also, I think you have probably got this written down, but
It's probably the bit I didn't say. Go on, say it.
There's the Hey Jude.
Yes, it is the bit I wrote down. Yeah, go on, say it.
Well,
No, say it. Only if you acknowledge that I noticed it before you.
no, you say it then.
No,
This
no,
is yours.
No, you say it. You say it.
Okay, fine.
Just listeners know that I spotted this first. Go.
Yeah, you did. So Ryan was the person who, when we listened to this together, I think you spotted it straight away.
I sang along to it. I was like,
Yeah, you did. And you know what? I never heard it, not once. So anyway, it's in the Beatles song Hey Jude, there's the na 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 na, and basically the 7-minute song, Isn't It a Pity, the version 1, it's kind of got that same underlying
it's got the same progression.
So you can sing the end of Hey Jude along to that song, which I think is just
Well, not even that. It's actually
Gorgeous.
in the song. As in,
Yeah, see, I still don't
have you
hear
not heard
it.
it yet? So it's only at the very very end. It's like the final like 8 bars, whatever it is. But if you listen to it, especially after it takes out like a couple of the other like backing vocals, it's one of the only things you can hear on top of the actual
Damn.
instruments. So next time you listen to it, honestly, when it gets to the end, listen out for it. Even with like a pair of headphones in or something like that, you'll hear it for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, I would just like to finish off this song with one comment that I saw on YouTube. And it'll always be, I think, one of my favourite comments. There's this one comment, actually. My first favourite YouTube comment, I'll always remember it. It was on a Declan McKenna song on YouTube. And I can't remember what song. Oh, I think it was Make Me Your Queen. Maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm lying. And anyway, and there was this man saying his life purpose was to spread joy through giving people inspiration through music. And it was just a glorious comment. It was this little old guy who related to the song. And anyway, this gave me the same emotion that I got when I first read the Declan McKenna comments. So this comment says, George Harrison masterpiece, timeless, existential, beautiful. For me, it's the highlight of All Things Must Pass. Isn't it a pity? Makes me reflect on my own life, how I'm living now, and how I might live in the future. And I just thought that was
Shit.
gorgeous. I loved it.
Yeah. Look at us, we're both bloody speechless now. Just looking at each other. Brilliant.
I'm not. Let's go. Next
Oh,
one.
okay. Let's metaphorically flip that record. We're on side B now, which opens up with one of the singles. What is life, Molly? Tell me.
Do you know what? What is life? I think that life is
Pain.
yeah. That I was half eating a Percy pig. I feel thrown off by that.
Is Percy Pigs.
Life is Percy
How many
pig.
plosives Percy Pigs?
No,
Okay.
stop.
Sorry.
Right, are you kicking off with this side?
Yeah, fine, right. So, this song, I know it's a single, but it just fucking screams single. It's a catchy pop song. Like, I know George took a lot of influences in this album, in the songs he wrote and that sort of thing as well. Gospel's one of those. The sort of singer-songwriter from Dylan is another one of those. This is Motown for me. This is Motown all over, and the influence of Phil Spector as well. It just screams, this is a song that's going to be a radio hit for me. Not in a bad way, because it's a good song. Yeah. It's not one of the best, but in terms of an entry-level song on this album, it does its job brilliantly. I always think the intro riff is very much like The Spirit in the Sky.
Interesting.
Just like the tone of the guitar.
Mm.
So I swear it's like the same like effect or same pedal or something like that.
Can I tell you what I think is exactly like this song?
Go on.
Band on the Run.
Really? I don't see that at all.
Mm.
But I guess it's just a vibe, isn't it? You know.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, you go. Sorry.
But I do have two bits of criticism about it though. One, it stays in your head, which is a good and a bad thing. I think it goes on a little bit too long, and I think there are a couple of songs on this album that do that as well. There's not many, but there are a few that I just think, oh, this is a good song, but just cut a minute off it. You know, it doesn't need to be that long. Yeah, I don't know. It might just be 'cause it's a Thursday night, and I've been working hard, you know, for the man, and I haven't got the time to be patient for these songs. But you know, I just think it would be, especially in the fact that it's a single format. I almost feel like we hear the chorus too many times. It just feels like it's too repetitive almost.
I feel like what you need is the Beatles and not George Harrison.
Yeah, but no, I hate it because I genuinely say I do prefer George Harrison to the Beatles. Which again is quite a controversial hot take to make this early in the podcast. But, you know, my opinion might change. But I've always preferred his solo stuff as opposed to the Beatles. But And the last thing I was going to say was, as much as the chorus is mega catchy, the lyrics in the chorus are so like ham-fisted into the melody. Like they don't actually really rhyme very much at all, which I know in songs doesn't really matter. It's not that important. But even like syllabically, is that a word?
I'm not
With the
sure.
syllables. Yeah, because monosyllabic. Yeah, yes. Yeah, anyway.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
The syllables in it doesn't really fit the sentences in the chorus.
I think George is quite. He does that quite often.
But like if you listen to it, it's very much he's stretching words or shortening them to try and force it to fit in the song. And I think because it's such a catchy song, he can get away with it. If it wasn't such a good song, I reckon he'd be fucking exposed here.
I think there's a few songs on this album definitely where I catch myself thinking, do you know what, that is a fucking mouthful, like to sing. I can't remember what song it is, but it's just it irritates me actually. But in saying that, I oh, I think it's a great song. And like you, I think it screams single as well. I, for one, would never cut a minute off this song. I think it's perfect as it is. And I can tell Ryan's got this smug face.
I haven't got a smug face. I just know there's going to be very, very little points you're going to criticise this album. And I think that's cute. That's why I'm smiling.
Yeah, okay. I love a long song anyway. And to be fair, the song, it's only 4 minutes and 22 seconds. I mean, it is, it's...
If we think a radio single though,
Yeah,
3 minutes.
it's longer for a radio single. Yeah, I will agree with that. But you know what? This man, he's not making it for the dough.
No, I know. Oh, shit. Yeah, I know.
He's not making it for the dough. All right, next song.
So, right, I'm just gonna fucking. I know I started the last one, but I'm just going in here. Yeah. And I'm gonna make a massive sweeping statement. I want to force you to fucking like it because I say this now. I'm about to say it. I don't know if it's very much of a hot take. Side B of All Things Must Pass is the best side on the entire album. By fucking far. Like, big time. So, obviously, What Is Life is a very, very good song. Then we get into If Not For You. Oh. So, as Mol already said, this one was written by Dylan. Alright, for George Harrison to actually sing. I didn't have any idea about that before we listened to the album today, by the way. So, that's a brand new development in my eyes. And this is something that George Harrison actually uses a lot on this album. The acoustic guitar mixed with the slide guitar. And the way they sort of mix together and blend in silkiness.
It's gorgeous.
Ooh, for the main riff is so good. It's a bloody lovely song. It stays in your head big time. And I know it's not necessarily his line. He didn't necessarily write it. And again, Bob Dylan is another one of those people that I rag on. I rag on a lot of people. But the line, about how if it wasn't for you, I couldn't hear Robin sing. It makes me do a little smile about nature and life itself. And that's a really nice vibe I like to feel. You can tell I'm enjoying this. I'm wildly gesticulating with my free hand. A very, very acceptable amount of harmonica.
I knew you were going to say that.
You could barely, just in a little bridge
subtle.
bit. Very subtle. Not too much, not too little. And it's great because of that. Go.
I think the harmonica is almost like birds singing in the background.
Oh, Molly. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it's honestly...
It's those robins literally singing.
It's gorgeous.
Fucking
and
2 robins just playing a full-size harmonica. In the fucking studio.
There's like 30 robins. They've all got a little bit of harmonica each.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I don't know, the whistling of the harmonica, and I feel like is there an organ in there or not?
wait for the next song.
Well,
That's
anyway.
the one with the organ on.
Oh, well, I feel like I thought I heard an organ, but also I really am shit with picking out instruments. I really am shit at it. Like, for me, I hear sound, and if I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. So, If Not For You, it used to be my favourite song. Oh yeah, so that was it, right? So what is life? The song before. That used to be my favourite song growing up.
Did it?
It did. It was my favourite ever song.
Actually,
Sorry,
kind of makes sense. Yeah. Well, there we go.
it's all changed
Is
now.
it not your favourite now?
No.
Hmm.
I'll let you know when we get to my favourite.
Okay. Is it this next one, Behind That Locked Door?
It is my favourite.
No, I didn't even try and set you up then. Go on,
Yeah.
go ahead. You can start.
I think this song is partnered with I'd Have You Anytime, which is a hot take, and no one will agree with me, and I don't care. I'm going to take it to the grave. I have nothing more to say about this. Behind That Locked Door, I mean, it actually, ironically, the only notes I've got for this is my first bullet point says my favourite. Second bullet point says partnered with I'd Have You Anytime. So there you go. That's all you need to know about it.
No more questions, Your Honour.
No more questions, Your Honour. Not guilty.
There you go. Would a guilty person tell the judge they're not guilty?
Exactly. Oh, what I will say
I
though.
was gonna say, please keep talking. I'm trying to get a cookie out my teeth.
Oh right, yeah, sorry. No, yeah, I was just gonna say Behind That Locked Door. This is kind of I don't know, like an important song this year. I just think for me it just keeps coming back up. It's one of those songs that, I mean, what George Harrison has done really well and will continue to do in this album is, as you kind of grow through life, providing I am growing. I mean, I've not grown in height in many years, but in kind of let's say emotional maturity, I'm growing.
Yeah, let's say that.
Yeah. And I think what's good about this album is you kind of unlock new layers of songs when you kind of grow up. And I guess that's the beauty of music in itself. But for me, this is one of the songs that just keeps giving. And I love it.
Nice. Yeah, literally, as we talk about it, I can just hear the main riff. That is, those of you who couldn't get my a cappella version there. I've written down here. I again, very much like you, I don't have too many notes about this song, but I've basically said linking to the last one as well. Probably the best double header in the entire album of two songs together that just fuck. Like, from If Not For You into Behind That Locked Door, it just works. It's either two of the most catchy and chill songs in the entire album, back to back, and they're just phenomenal songs. They're both amazing. I thought both this one and If Not For You, very good late night songs. You want to stick this baby on at 10 o'clock at night, cuppa in hand, relaxing, you'll love it.
I can't wait till we have it on record.
Oh, me too.
It's going to be the most perfect album for records.
And this song she mentioned about the organ, this is the one where there isn't any harmonica, but in the bridge there's just this underlying organ.
Like a warmth.
Yeah, that
to the
just
song.
adds a bit of tone. And it's stunning. It's so good. Again, not much going on, but it just hits.
I remember now why I think it's partnered with I'd Have You Anytime, and it would have been nice if I'd have, past Molly would have made notes.
No, you don't need to explain it. It's fine.
But I'd Have You Anytime, I think, if I remember rightly, was written at the same time as Behind That Locked Door was written at the same time as I'd Have You Anytime.
Ah, okay.
And so Behind That Locked Door is kind of about Bob Dylan when he kind of shut himself off, and George obviously hated seeing his friend kind of, I guess, emotionally withdrawing.
Yeah, just not out there, not himself.
Yeah, not himself. And I think when you listen to it in that context, I mean, it just, the way that it's got a real emotional maturity to the song.
Very big country vibes as well. They never said that.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Then we go into Let It Down.
Let it down.
Again, this is another one where I just want to gush. Will you let me gush?
Yeah, of course.
Gush, baby. So, my first opening note that I wrote down was, "Hey there, let it down. I chuffing love you, even when the skies are grey above you." I mean, that sort of explains it all. Like, this song is class. It's so good. It's got such a fucking extra introduction. It's like, boom, boom, and you're like, whoa! After like two of the most like chill songs, this puts a rocket up your ass.
Yeah, it blows your Swede right off.
Yeah, there's a moth in the room, by the way.
Fuck sake.
You might
Right,
wanna
you
shut-
carry on. You carry
Can
on.
we get the ASMR of the door shut again, please?
No.
Yeah, so it really fucking blows your mind.
How big is it? Where is
It's
it?
only a small one. It's like the size of a 1 penny piece.
1 penny.
You say continue, but then you distracted me.
Sorry.
Come on. Anyway, so it blows you straight away, and then like fucking 20 seconds later, you're into like this chill ass song that's like, hang on, this was not what I expected. You're like, oh, okay, this is interesting, and it's mysterious and it's strange again, and again, this one fits to me a bit like I'd Have You Anytime, in that very like odd vibes you get. Sorry, voice is going. That's better. But that just builds and builds, and the atmosphere just feels like crazier and crazier. And then you fucking get to the chorus again, finally, and it's doing the harmonies, and they're going, let it down, do 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 do. And then everyone's doing the fucking backing vocals, and it feels bloody biblical, honestly. It's that good. And like, it makes me sit here and want to do all the backing vocals when that chorus crescendos. And I had two like sort of quite strange thoughts about this that are sort of not really related to the song, but I was like, oh, you might find this interesting. One, can you imagine if like a heavier rock band covered this song?
Gorgeous.
Or even like a contemporary metal band. Like, I'm not normally a fan of like genre bending a song, but this one just feels like it would really suit that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Even though
I'd
it's a
love
very,
that.
very chill song for most of its runtime, just having that build and that tension, and it's
I mean, even taking it the other way, having it like a soul song.
yes, because that's a bit like the demos, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
And my other thought was, if I was a DJ, and I was a really weird DJ that had to play this song as part of my DJ set,
We're all weird DJs, really, aren't we?
I mean, that's allegory for life itself. I would combine this and mix it with Detroit by Gaz Coombs,
Ooh.
because
I
the
love that.
chorus and the backing vocals and the choral choir bit in the background that really makes it atmospheric. I swear to God, they blend together phenomenally.
I love that. I'm going to have to...
Make that yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to have to make that myself.
Make that
I mean,
mashup. It'd be like
yeah.
the greatest thing since Jay-Z and Linkin Park did an encore.
Yeah. Wow. Wow, what a time.
Can I get an encore? Do you want more?
No, shut up. I will say about this song, I feel like I can feel Phil Spector in this song.
Yeah, for sure. Especially in the choruses and the
Yeah.
intro.
Yeah, like, I mean, I wrote here, I couldn't remember what...
Feels like you're about to get murdered.
No, I couldn't...
Oh, that's bad.
That's so... No, that's really bad. Because Phil Spector actually went to prison for murdering his wife. So, I mean, we're not going to get into that.
We'll save that for the Christmas album.
Yeah, Phil Spector, everything that he touched musically, I think was gold. And he's one of the...
Even Let It Be?
Yeah.
Because that was like one of the things that like McCartney hated, didn't he?
Well, I mean, we're not going to get into
No,
that
sorry.
now, are we? Like, you know, it's on the list, so we'll get into it at some point. Let It Be.
I don't know if it's on the list.
Fuck off.
Do you know what? You carry on talking about this song. I want to see if it's on the list.
No way.
There's obviously lots of Beatles on the list.
Yeah.
But I'm going
Not
to find
Let
out.
It Be, though.
I'll just talk
Alright,
about this
sorry.
song.
All right. Well, what I will say is I put here the ending having the blowy instruments. I couldn't remember their names.
It's a trumpet.
Well, no, but like, what do you call like
Brass.
the brass? The brass.
The brass. Always watching Wazowski, the brass.
Yeah, I put here the best bit about the song. You know, at the end. I mean, you'll have to listen to this next time.
I can hear the song in my head right now.
No, but it's a really particular detail I need you to listen to next time we're, listen to this song.
Okay.
And it's basically the blowy instruments at the end.
What are they called?
Shut up, man.
They're
I'm
called the
trying to tell.
brass.
The brass. The blowy instruments fade out like little balloons losing air. And it's just amazing. Like, no, but they're kind of like a bit like when a balloon is kind of
It's like going, it goes flying around the room, and the kids are like going mental.
yeah. That's exactly what's going on at the end of this song, and that is Phil Spector to a T.
Phil Spector's flying around the room like a
saggy balloon. R.I.P. by the way.
What? No.
He's dead.
Yeah, but he's also a murderer.
Well, yeah. Well, R.I.P. as in rest in
Rest
pieces.
in fucking pain, mate.
Rest in pain. Rest in pieces and in pain. This took a turn. I was going to say one more thing about the song.
Do you want to know if Let It Be's on the list?
Right. Is it not on the list?
So Let It Be is on the list.
It is.
1984's Let It Be by the band The Replacements.
I fucking hate you. I hate you so much. I hate this stupid worm inside of me. This is fucking... I fucking hate this.
No, Let It Be's not on the list.
No, I mean, right. So me and Ryan do this challenge, and we've been doing it for like over 200 albums now. And you know what? It's a really fucking great thing to do, and I love it every single day that we do it. I think it's amazing. I'm so grateful. But also, fuck you. Fuck you. The amount of fucking brilliant albums that aren't on this list. I said to Ryan that we should make our own fucking list. Where they
You're being so aggressive right now.
No, where they actually put the best songs on. I'm sorry, we've had to listen to some really fucking shit albums. And you're telling me Let It Be by the Beatles, one of the most incredible albums in history, is not even on the list. Out of 1,000 albums. Even more than 1,000.
You're asking me like I wrote the book. I feel like I'm in trouble here. I need to look at the wall again.
Yeah, yeah, you do. Well, anyway,
I've probably taken you away from your point now.
I was just going to talk about saxophone.
The brass.
The brass. This song was also it was pitched for Let It Be, the album by the Beatles, and it was refused. So that's why did you have to buy it off such a big amount of cookie?
Look, if you could just finish your points about...
Well, I
let it
finished,
down,
hun.
and then you can start introducing the next one while I eat my cookie.
All right, fine. Run of the Mill, which is kind of ironic because I have so much to say about this song anyway. And what I like about this song, I feel like, again, I'm shit with music and picking out instruments, but it almost feels like the guitar in it sounds like a harp. It's that gentle. And I love it. So when I was listening to it, I was kind of like, oof, that's so delicate, so fragile, that could be a harp. And I just fucking, yeah. I love that. What I will say is, I spoke to my good friend Kenzie the other day, and we were having like a little bit of a chat about this song. And Run of the Mill, for me, it's sorry, we've got sorry, we've got Van Morrison on in the background. Another 7-minute song. I'll skip that for you. Yeah, I think what is really, 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 really fucking great about this song, again, is that constantly George Harrison songs are just riddled with meanings and kind of hidden meanings. And I think on the surface level, this song was about Ryan's got a lot of water in his mouth. Feel like you were going to spit take then. All right, anyway, shut up, Ryan, because I need to say my point.
I swallowed the water, by the way.
Well done.
Did you hear how moist my lips were then?
No. George Harrison was named the Quiet Beatle, and
The choir beetle.
the Quiet Beatle. Sorry, I don't pronounce all my letters. Also, suck it, Ryan.
Do you mean suck it? Suck it.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think this song is kind of quietly reflective on both his actions and his time in the band. And I also think it's kind of got a lot of spiritual responsibility within the song. And run of the mill, you know, what it means to be run of the mill is to be very ordinary and be very plain and standard. And I hate to say it, but that's almost how George was kind of
How you were seen.
Yeah, in the Beatles, because you know we had these two frontmen who were larger than life, had these massive opinions, and were really flamboyant. And George kind of got pushed to the back. So I think, you know, again, the surface level, this song is kind of pointing at McCartney. But also, what I will say about this song is it's just fucking fascinating. Like, what me and Kenzie were talking about is that if you look at it, so there's only 2 verses, kind of no chorus. It's just 2 blocks.
Yeah.
I don't know what we'd call that. I mean,
just 2 verses. That's all it
2
is.
verses.
Yeah.
And I see them almost like if you've got 2 verses and in between there's a line, and that line is like a mirror. And in the first half of the verse, I mean, it's annoying because I feel like I need to get the lyrics up, but I'm not gonna. Is it kind of mostly has you in, and then in the second half it'll have I in.
Yeah.
So there's never a me. So it's kind of like a removal of the self. So it's
separating 2 people as well.
Yeah, and it's like a conversation. I mean, it's really hard because I kind of view this as George discussing his kind of intuition and kind of his path, and a lot of the lyrics in this song, you know, kind of take you there. They kind of, so I'll read one of the lyrics, and I would probably say, though I'm beside you, I can't carry the lame for you. And there's like a duality in the lyrics, because there's also in the first verse, there's it says something like, yeah, no one around you to carry the blame for you. So it's like back and forth, but one of them's I, one of them's you.
Yeah, I get you.
So I kind of view it again like, because if you think about it, we've just had what's it called?
Lay it down.
With the religious kind of connotations, like My Sweet Lord.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, there's kind of a desperation to reach a kind of a point, right? And then you get into this song, and I think this song is one of the most kind of deeply contemplative about that. Like, I don't know, I just think it feels almost like God is kind of replying within the lyrics as well. I don't know, I think,
That's wild.
yeah, I really do think that there's so many meanings to it, and maybe I can't find my thoughts to be that ordered about the song right now, but it's something that I've kind of, when discussing it with Kenzie, it was like, it makes a lot of sense. I don't know, that there's kind of, he's singing it and then it's coming back to him, but who's saying it back to him? Do you know what I mean? Whether it's himself and it's a conversation between like his external and internal self, I don't know, but or whether it's just kind of a conscious thing, or whether it's to McCartney himself, I don't know, but there's something about this whole album that does have a spiritual responsibility and a kind of a path, and I don't know, it kind of weaves you through these questions of life itself. And I think this is the perfect song, I don't know, to kind of embody that mystery and the unknown. So that's kind of where I'll go with that one.
That's some mad analysis there, Mol.
Oh, thanks.
Like,
I'm
you
done
sound
now.
a lot like you know what you're talking about.
I really do not. Oh, and then this is the last thing I put. Bebop, 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 bebop. Is it a harp? No, maybe it's a guitar. That was the only thing I wrote
Is
on
that
this.
George Harrison's robot wife back again? Beep bop, George. Is that a harp or is that a guitar? Beep bop.
Yeah. That's the only thing I've written on here is the bebop thing. That's the only point I've got for
Bebop?
run of the mill.
Wasn't that like? That's like what's it called? Bop it. Beep bop.
Oh
Bop
my
it.
goodness. I
Pull it.
love Bop
Twist
It.
it.
Question. What score did you get to?
I was shit at bop it.
I was fucking amazing at
Yeah,
Bop
but you've
It.
got amazing reaction times.
Yeah, I have.
Someone could throw a fucking spade at me, and I'd react and try and catch it after I wake up fucking 4 hours later in the hospital.
Spade is a spade, mate. Also, what do you call a man without a spade?
I don't know.
Douglas. Is that right?
Fuck's sake.
It's not
yes,
spadeless,
it
is it? Yeah.
Why would someone be called spadeless?
Spadeless.
You mug.
What do you call a man with a spade? Doug.
Yeah, see, that's the one I knew.
Well, you didn't know Douglas.
Don't give me
But
that
you knew
fucking
Doug.
smudge aura right now.
All right. Anyway, what do you have to say about Run of the Mill?
Thank you for letting me talk. That's what I've got to say first of all. So, I know
Sorry, what I will say is you can tell it's the end of term.
What? Because my patience is running fucking thin right now.
Yeah. Like tissue
Right.
paper.
Yeah.
And you're weeing all over it and it's breaking.
I fucking swear, Molly. I swear. Right. So, I knew I blew my load a little bit earlier and said that I think side B of this entire album is the best side. And this is the song that solidifies that choice for me. I actually wrote it on the notes here. I said, in all caps, side B rules ROOLZ. Okay. It's very melancholic, but beautiful. And it sounds to me, this is my interpretation, I don't know if it sort of links to yours or not, sounds very much like someone looking at two sides of a relationship or a friendship that was healthy, that's gone sour, and they're trying to mend things and think where things went wrong and what has caused that division or that disparity between two parties. And the trumpets in it is what really adds to the atmosphere for me. There's a fucking brass masterclass. You could call it a master brass.
Master Brass. That's really, really good.
Thank you.
Well done. That is really funny.
I just made up on the spot right now. It's just a really nice song. Like it's one of those songs that I don't really listen to like a lot outside of this album, but I appreciate it for what it is in this album. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we're back for our second part of All Things Must Pass.
Mm.
Last time we recorded, we covered side A and side B. Side B, the greatest side B in the history of the world.
Yeah.
And now we're going to look at disc 2, side C.
Yeah.
Starting off with our first song, which is Beware of Darkness. But before we do start, I know you want to get through this a lot of songs. How are you today, Molly?
I am good, thanks.
Good.
We briefly had a spell of no internet.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, that was the reason why
That
we
was
haven't
the
recorded.
reason why. I think we did figure out that we could do it without internet. But it would have been a little bit more complicated. So here we are, and then basically, kind of in an overview, everything in our flat is just breaking.
Everything's like, you know, that meme where there's the dog just sat in the kitchen while everything's on fire and it's in
Everything's on
there.
fire.
This is fine.
Yeah, that's our flat.
Basically where we're at right now, essentially.
I think that's been our
Internet's
flat
fixed though.
for about 5 years though.
What, since we moved in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the first week we moved in, do you remember our toilet light exploded?
Oh yeah, we had to replace the carpets.
Yeah.
Wasn't that fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so internet's back up. Thank you, Lewis from Virgin Media.
Yeah, shout out Lewis
Shout out Lewis if you're listening. Bro.
No, don't do that.
Okay. Yeah, let's get back to it then. I'm glad you're well.
How are you, Ryan?
Oh, you really? Oh, you're very kind.
Yeah.
I'm great, thank you. I'm a year older
Oh yeah, Ryan
It's
also
been my
celebrated a birthday.
since we last recorded.
Yeah.
26 years young.
Good for you.
Thank you. I feel very old, but growing into my own mind, as I keep telling people.
You have the biggest brain.
I have the oldest brain.
The oldest brain.
I'm just an old man inside.
You know, like little chihuahuas, for the benefit of the radio, Ryan's head is like a little chihuahua.
I don't have a small head. I have a huge head, by the way.
A huge head, but like Ryan's brain is so big, and if you pull back his hair, you
can see it like pulsating.
Yeah, so it's like if anyone's ever seen Mr. G
From Some Heights High, Chris Lilly.
Yeah, talk about his Chihuahua dog. If not, Google it because it's incredible, and that's
when he
essentially
cradles it
what
by
Ryan
neck and
is.
pulls his ears back, so you can see its cranium.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's what I do to Ryan.
Yeah, I'm sick of you pulling my ears back and speaking to people in an Australian accent for some reason. It's weird.
Doing interpretive dances around you.
So yeah, I'm a bit older now. Maybe I'll approach this with more maturity. But thank you for asking. Yeah, I'm good.
That's all right.
Thank you. But anyway, side C. It's bloody Beware of Darkness, isn't it? Not Beware of the Darkness. They wouldn't be a band for another 30 years. But I reckon if George was still here nowadays, he probably would believe in a thing called love.
Ryan.
Just starting off as we're looking to go on.
That was so horrific.
So, what do you think of Beware of Darkness? Please cut me off before I carry on.
What I will say is, not that this is relevant to the song.
I mean, half of this podcast never is.
But in the week that we were gone, we also have had, I think maybe like a fuse has blown in our bedroom.
Oh yeah, no bedroom lights, that's right.
So we've got no bedroom lights. So we quite literally are stumbling in the dark.
We're not doing Bruce right now.
And we are very wary of the darkness. We've been using this lamp that I stole from
Molly, no, come on. We talked about crimes
but this
last
is
week.
different. This was from the studio, and it's attached to a string on our bed. I'm one step away from wearing a head torch, really, in our house.
Very, very house flipper.
Let's not. Come on.
We'll get to that later on. I'm pretty sure we mentioned it last time anyway.
I think everyone that knows us, who listens to this, knows that house flipper
The house
is our
flipper
life now.
discourse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, Beware of Darkness.
Yes, Beware of Darkness.
I think it's a really great song. What I would say though is, I mean, my mood kind of changes, my mind changes on a lot of songs all the time. I can never pick favourites. But this is one of the ones that's never been my favourite. But
So is there a reason why?
I think maybe you kind of touched on it like earlier, but I don't know. Maybe it's just I guess you know when you're singing it and you wanna sing the right words,
Yeah.
but in every other verse there's certain
A slight change.
slight change,
And it throws you off.
and I think
And you feel
that
mugged
I
off.
think that
You feel like a
grates.
fool.
Yeah, I do feel like a fool every single time.
Egg on your face.
Yeah, egg on my face. Any more?
Caught shorty trousers around your ankles.
I've never heard of that. Never ever.
You've never done that.
Never heard
I
of it.
have been. On many occasions.
Yeah.
My thoughts on this. I obviously we listened to side C and D and the little bit of disc 3 this morning just to refresh our minds. And I made notes. Turns out I bloody made notes already, didn't I? What am I doing? And actually, it's good that my thoughts this morning are exactly the same as they were about a week ago. So that mature 26-year-old brain hasn't kicked in yet. I always thought this was an underrated track.
Really?
Yeah, you know, it's along the same veins of the opening of side A. It's a bit. Do you wanna? Sorry, for the benefit of the DR and the detective inspector listening back to this when Molly has to commit to and admit to all these crimes. She's currently adjusting herself on the noisiest fucking rocking chair in the world.
Yeah, I'm
No,
really
stop
sorry.
rocking, Molly.
It's a rocking chair, Ryan.
Well, do you want to rock quietly, please? Because I guarantee you all the listener will hear is...
All right, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Look, you throw me off now. Anyway.
You were saying you made notes. Big brain, 26.
So actually you didn't listen to anything that I said then? Because I said a whole thing after that, and you were just there fucking rocking in a chair.
You said it was
Look,
an
I know I'm
underrated...
off work now, but it's not too late for me to fucking tell you off. All right? Thank you. So, it reminds me a bit of I'd Have You Anytime. Not as good, but still good. Dark and broody, mysterious. Quite literally, I feel like I'm quite aware of the darkness, and I feel like I should be aware. It doesn't really go anywhere. It sort of exists in its own sort of existential plane. But there's that bit near the end, the sort of third act of the song, as I call it, where it's like a second bridge, and the slide guitar comes in, and the chord progression changes.
Yeah.
And that's when I'm like, yeah, this is a good song. This is a good song. It fucks.
It does fuck.
It absolutely fucks. Again, not one of my favourites, but absolutely not a skippable song at all.
No, I agree with that. And one of the things I did find really interesting about this track is, you know how it changes the different, like beware of greedy leaders.
Yes.
Beware of whatever. Each time it changes, well, it's been kind of analysed, and people maybe speculate that each time it changes, it's about a different Beatle.
Oh, shit.
So beware of greedy leaders would be Paul McCartney and stuff like that. So,
beware of Ringo.
yeah.
But
with a little bit more
wrong.
kind of finesse and mystery. But yeah, so people have kind of speculated about that. So I think it's an interesting song for that reason.
Yeah, no. I'll have to listen to that again with that that input and see if I recognise it.
But I love the song. I think it really... I like how kind of low it goes. That's the only way I can describe it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It goes really low, and it kind of brings me back.
Sinks to the bottom.
Yeah, you do. You feel like you touch the bottom. You do.
And touching the bottom is always a good experience.
Yeah. Yeah. We were picturing
the
two
bath
different
I'm
bottoms
talking
then.
about. Or the swimming pool.
I was thinking like the sea. I feel like it takes
like when
me.
you... Oh, no, I was thinking like a swimming pool. You know, when you throw something in and you have to go diving down to get it. Like a fun game.
I used to enjoy doing that. Like, it's like underwater fetch.
Sorry, you just caught me for a fucking second there. Underwater fetch, brilliant. I love that.
Yeah.
Stop trying to make underwater fetch happen.
In fact, how about spin-off band from you and Connor, Underwater Wilson? Change it now, Underwater Fetch.
What's the difference apart from the name?
Everything is different, Ryan.
Tell me.
It's more experimental.
You can't just throw a name out there without telling me what the project is.
It's like more experimental. I want slidey guitars. I want a lot of synths.
Just a George Harrison cover band.
Yeah, okay.
For the benefit of any people who got lost and ended up listening to this about an hour and 3/4 in and wondering what Underwater Wilson is, Spotify, Underwater Wilson, come back to me. Please get me at least 20 pence of royalties. Thank you. Right, moving on. Apple Scruffs. I didn't even say that properly. Apple Scruffs. Do you want to start? Should I?
You go.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I want to drop straight fire on this fucking mic right now.
I know you are. Just go.
What the fuck is this song? In an otherwise flawless album, I would like to shove that harmonica so far up George Harrison's ass, he can play it whenever he has a fucking bowel movement.
When he sneezes.
He's here. Oh, got a bit of wind. No, like that.
Yeah.
Fuck that harmonica. It reminds me of when we went to go see Richard Hawley recently, and there was just so much unnecessary over the top harmonica, and this song is basically all harmonica, and him just saying apple scruffs in a weird way. Oh, and I just fucking hate it. This is the one skippable song on this album that is very, very good. And the harmony in the chorus when he's like apple scruffs, and it's like the other like it sounds like his voice is breaking. Is what it reminds me of, the harmony. Yeah, fuck this shit. I'm out. Worst song on the album. I'm done.
So
let's have a more measured response now.
I don't know if it's maybe measured, but I completely agree with everything you're saying. I actually hate this song as well, which is strong coming from me because I am the biggest stan of All Things Must Pass.
Yeah, it's very Dylan as well, and you like Dylan.
Yeah, and I also get why it's a shit song. Because I know I went on about this with Wawa and how...
Yeah, Wawa's better than this.
Yeah, but when you ragged on it, I was like, well, there's a point of it being, really hard to listen to. And I kind of get those songs. What I would say is the fact that it's called Apple Scruffs. So obviously the Beatles had their own record label called Apple. And yeah, I mean, if you think about it in terms of whatever he's trying to kind of discuss in this song, he was obviously, well, in my eyes, he was obviously meaning to make a fucking annoying track.
Do you think? Because I actually did a bit of research and found out what the song's about.
Really? Oh, I'd love to know.
It's the last song he wrote on the album. Shock. You couldn't fucking tell that, could you?
Yeah, thrown in there, mate.
He wrote it as a thank you to all the fans that kept setting up outside the studio every day.
No, he didn't.
So unless the fans are really pissing him off, it was actually a well-meaning song.
Really? Oh, well, I got that really fucking wrong.
That's right. Just caught short with your trousers around your ankles again.
But, like...
I just want an excuse to say that. You haven't really. You made a really good point.
I mean, it's just crazy, though. One, why are they called scruffs? Like, for anyone who doesn't know, like... I mean, do you use the word scruff?
It could just be scruffy-looking people waiting outside the Apple Studios.
No, but why would he say that?
Because they've probably been waiting out there for, like, days. Like fanatic people.
I understand what you're saying here, Ryan. I understand what the concept of someone waiting outside is.
But you just see scruff as an insult.
Yeah, scruff is an insult. It's a massive insult.
Do you feel insulted right now?
Well, no, I don't. But I just don't.
You feel like an apple scruff.
I just don't understand why he would make a song called Apple Scruffs if it was well-meaning. That's my only point. And to put that fucking annoying song together and then call it, well-meaning. No, I'm sorry, I'm not taking that. I don't believe it. Where'd you get your facts?
Have you ever heard of this? There's this website. It's one of the most reputable sites for any
Great.
kind of research.
It's Wikipedia. Don't say Reddit.
I will not confirm or deny what you've just said.
Okay.
No comment.
All right, fine. Interesting, though. It's definitely something to mull over when you listen to it again.
Or
Not that we will be
again.
listening to it again. Right, anyway, next track. It's left a sour taste in my mouth.
Anyway, you're starting this one. The Ballad of Sir Frankie Crisp, in parenthesis, Let It Roll.
Oh, right. Okay, so I've written on my notes, I love this song. Next point. After the blokey who previously owned his mansion. Right, okay. So
Yeah, it was a song about him.
it was, yeah, which is so bizarre to me that you would write a whole song based on this. But yeah, someone who used to own, he bought the mansion off Frankie Crisp, and I think
Sir Frankie Crisp.
Sir.
Put some respect on his name, please.
Respect on Frankie Crisp's name. And he, I don't know, I can't remember why he connected with him, but I think he passed away. And
yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, I think I'm really sorry if this is wrong. Please don't even come at me.
Nobody comes here for our
No one comes here for
well-researched
facts.
They come here to listen to us talk shit.
Well, in my scattered brain that I've got, I feel like this man passed and it was a tribute to him. And he was a really, really fun guy. And no, don't talk about the mushrooms.
I'm sorry.
Look
You can't
me.
just say fun guy and not expect me to even give you a look. I had to stop myself from making a comment straight up.
I can't take this. Why am I even doing a stupid fucking podcast with this buffoon? I can't take this.
Whoa. This is
What
the
episode is this? Episode 3?
3.
Well, I'm throwing in the towel.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm walking out.
No, but what I will say about Frankie Crisp, thank you, Sir Frankie Crisp, let me finish, is that he had a sign that says, "Don't keep off the grass." And I really appreciated that, because the lawn is the foyer to the home.
True words cannot be said.
And
this is a girl who flips.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I don't know, I just think there's, I like how it's kind of really fun. I love a good tribute song anyway. So I think this was a great song. And actually, it was one that really never stood out to me when I was younger. And I only kind of have appreciated now, being older.
Yeah, I think this is a grower, not a shower. 100%. Where, like, in my first few listens through, this album felt like a bit of a, I don't know, a track like a transitional song between the absolute mess that is Apple Scruffs and the next track. Whereas now, in my 26-year-old, wiseness, wisery, Wisingtonness, I find that this is one of the better songs in the entire album. Like,
Really?
I had to stop myself earlier and listen to it. I was like, oh, I just love this song. I didn't want to reveal it straight away. I love this song. It's really, really good. It's a really, really good song. It's really mellow. And I've written down here, I love how the chord progression feels like a little hug straight away.
Yeah.
But then when like the piano and the like arpeggiating guitar synchronize throughout the song, and it's like that sort of like drive and rhythm about being too much but comfortable but not boring. Sits in that nice little Goldilocks zone, just being really nice. and it's a sort of song you could listen to for a while without getting bored of it. I don't think. And it's not an irritating song. It's not. It's weird. It genuinely is that kind of song where it isn't grating, but it isn't boring. It is that solid middle ground, which is just a nice song.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I haven't got much else to say.
No. Next song, "Awaiting on You All."
So, I know we spoke last time about the singles. This one must have had single in mind, surely.
Yeah, maybe.
I found this is very much like "What Is Life" and "My Sweet Lord" as being just a very, very poppy song. It sounds
Really?
radio friendly, and it's got the same sort of the bit that I shit on Phil Spector last time for, a very full mix that I think could be sparser to be nicer. When it's the chorus and you got all the harmonies, all the backing vocals, and all the instruments just blaring at once, it's like, and it's like blasting you in the face. I sound like I'm shitting a song. I do actually like this song a lot.
Is it?
But
Yeah, okay.
I just don't like how chunky it is. Imagine if all you music nerds, Connor, out there, listening to this, if you put this shit in Pro Tools, it'd be a big fucking chunky turd of a bar. Because there's no rise and fall. But it's a very dynamically interesting song with lots of interesting like textures and instruments. So I can sing all the bits in my head because it stays there and it's very poppy and it's got lots of hooks. And it is a nice song, but could just be a bit. I could change it, but I don't know if that's the stupid person who thinks he knows music in me, thinking that, overanalyzing it almost rather than just taking it as it's just a good pop song.
I think in the context of the album, we've got a lot of songs that are kind of speaking on. That was our doorbell.
Hang on, I'll get the buzzer.
Oh, okay. I was going to say that what I really appreciate is that throughout the album, you've kind of got these mellow points of his kind of, his spiritual journey, where he can kind of, I don't know, he can bring you down and quietly reflect with him. And I think this is one of the songs that doesn't do that, but I think that's the best thing about it. I think it truly shows. Ooh, what is that? Is it for me or for you?
Well, I'd argue it's for both of us. Can I get an audio file? Oh look, listen. What listeners? What do you think this package might be? Should we do a live opening? See what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Let me just put my microphone down. You'll have to carry this because I'll be opening. All right.
Well, I mean, I was already carrying it. I was saying my points.
Yeah. You could argue you've been carrying it for the last 3 episodes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Do you
Go.
want me to hold your microphone?
Yeah. 2 Mike's Molly, they call you. Go on. What do you think it is?
I really have no idea. It doesn't look like a record shape. I don't know.
Right, 3 guesses.
If it's for both of us, I'm not sure.
You need to say to the listener what I'm saying because they can't hear me.
All right. Okay, this is going to be hard to say my thing and your.
3 guesses.
You've got 3 guesses. Oh, and then.
Just say Ryan said I've got 3 guesses.
So Ryan said I've got 3 guesses. Molly speaks now. I think that it's not a record because it's not a record shape. It looks soft. Can you please squish the package? Kind of looks a little bit. It's both soft and hard, which is not the best combination. I've really no idea what it is. Do I give up? No, I don't give up. I've got 2 more guesses, so this is really hard. I mean, what do we even need in our house? What do we?
give you a clue.
I'll give you a clue.
It's something we spoke about yesterday.
It's something we spoke about yesterday. I mean, I have slept since then. That's the issue. Something we spoke about yesterday. It links to records. Oh, I know what it is then. Thank you very much. It's record cleaner or microfiber cloths.
No, it's a pack of 10 microfiber cloths.
10 microfiber cloths. Wow.
Baby blue.
Baby blue. Thank you for that.
Thanks, Molly, for carrying that dumpster fire segment of what Amazon delivery is coming today. Answer, for all of you playing along at home, a pack of 10 blue microfiber cloths, specifically for cleaning records with.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
What did I miss while getting the door?
I was saying that the best thing about this song, and I think I like that it's kind of got the Phil Spector signature wall of sound.
Yeah, so you like that more than I do, don't you?
But my point is that throughout the album, you've got so many points that are so reflective on his spiritual journey, and so, I don't know, melancholic. And
You think you need like a taste breaker, sorry.
yeah, I think this one is just pure fucking ecstasy. It's joy. It's, I don't know. I think it's just someone fucking rejoicing and
Just good vibes.
And I think it's perfect for that. I love that there's so many instruments in it. I love all the harmonies. Do you know what? As soon as I think we listened to this like a while back, the first thing I said was, imagine if you got like a choir singing this song. Like I just imagine.
Are you challenging my school choir to sing it next year?
No, I feel like they butcher it. I need a proper choir. Oh, how about Tony's choir?
Put some respect on my school choir.
No, I refuse. If they can prove to me that they can hold a decent harmony, then I'm gonna gatekeep this album from them until I think that they're worthy.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll suggest it to Tony next time I get my haircut.
Yeah, okay.
Shout out to Tony Braddon.
Yeah.
Haircuts.
Can you spell that for the listener?
It's a pun. HERR cuts KUTZ. It's like German. Haircuts. Sorry, P. And also, the man also once tried to sue Rockstar Games for GTA 5. Hilarious. I love the man. He's cut my hair since I was literally about -4.
Yeah.
Tried to sue a multi fucking national huge games company because in GTA, it might have been GTA 5, maybe GTA 4, there was a barber's called Haircuts.
Yeah. Which is so funny to me.
I still remember there's a little photo of him. I think he's got the cutting in his shop still, where he's stood outside Haircuts looking fucking grumpy as hell with his little headline.
He's so cute. And also, Tony sings in a choir. And honestly, I trust that man with both my head and this record.
Yeah, to be fair, he does chat a lot about the choir and his harmony. So yeah, I'll suggest it to him next time.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I don't know if he's a big George Harrison Beatles fan,
but
he says he likes to do like a variety of songs. So,
well, this is perfect.
Right.
So that's it. My thing was just to conclude. I love this song so much. I wouldn't change a thing about it.
If you could turn back time.
If I could find a way. Yeah.
If you could find a way to be in charge of this record, would you have released this song as a single?
No.
No.
I understand.
Even though you feel like it's quite a poppy radio friendly song.
Yeah, but I also think that if you just, I don't know, the way I think about it is it's your rejoice track. It's your track where you found enlightenment. It's this kind of glorious glow of a song. And you can't just release that. You've got to go through the album. You've got to go through, if you're thinking about it as some kind of spiritual journey, or you're thinking about it in terms of you're kind of you have to be you're living and breathing with an album every time
you
it's on.
You need some of those little secrets, those little pockets of brevity.
It's got to build you up, right?
Rather than just being like cheering it all the time on the radio.
Exactly. So the reason why I think that this was clever to keep on this album was because you've got to go through those motions of lows and the crazy moments and highs and everything to get to a point like this where you're ultimately standing fucking naked on a cliff and you're just like, yes.
Tallywhacker blowing in the wind.
Yeah, absolutely. Side to side, baby, up and down.
Which is the perfect segue to the next song. No, I don't know. It's not at all. It's not at all. You know, I don't know. I actually can't make a link at all. Actually, I want to challenge myself here. Tallywhacker blowing in the wind, which is the perfect segue to the next song, which is called All Things Must Pass. Because as you know, that wind, that cold breeze will eventually pass. And you can put your clothes back on, get back in your car and drive home. You absolute mad lad. That's the bit. I think I must have been in a really bad mood the first time I listened to this last time, or last week when we listened to this.
Oh no.
I'm not being savage about this song. Straight away, I'll just tell you this song is class. But I might have been savage to like this side. I said originally this song is a song that stops this side C, from being a complete dud in comparison to side B. Now I know I sucked side B off really hard. Like I know it's incredible. Side C isn't that bad. I think I might have just been really mad about apple scruff still. I think I might have had an apple scruff tainted taste in my mouth still.
I think it really has. It's got an awful aftertaste.
Very bitter.
Yeah, really bitter. Yeah.
It's like those apples you have in a crumble, but they're far too sour.
Oh,
Far too sour.
It ruins the
And you
actual
got to face
crumble
it.
topping.
Well, I'll do the face and you can describe it for the benefit of the radio.
For the benefit of the radio, Ryan looks exactly like his dad. His eyes are squinty and his face is kind of
I look like I've been stung by a bee.
yeah. But I mean, Paul pulls it off. He's a little bit more elegant.
Elegant bee sting of a face.
Yeah.
That's so mean.
Anyway, let's go. Next.
Yeah, it is the title track for a reason. Because it is one of the best tracks on the album. I still wouldn't say it's necessarily my favourite. It might be a bit of a hot take.
No, it's not.
I couldn't actually tell you my favourite, I don't think. But it's a beautiful song. And just the hook of the All Things Must Pass away. There's almost like an acceptance. There's I don't know, coming to terms with every change and things like that. And it's lovely. There's some really nice subtle trumpets in the song. It feels like, as well as there being that acceptance of change, whether it be change for the good or change for bad, it feels like it's looking forward to positivity and hope in the future as well. In my eyes, that's the way I interpret it anyway.
100%.
Go.
I think this whole album perfectly reflects this song. I completely agree in terms of what you were saying about, change. I love it for that. I think it's truly a point in the album where it kind of stops you.
Yeah, you really think during this song.
I think one thing I wrote here is this song just lets me sink. So I feel like I kind of, for a lot of this album, I kind of float. This is how I'm picturing it. I float and I'm,
Is it a bit like, when like you do meditation and you're meant to be sort of sat, if you're sat in a chair, you're meant to be able to really consciously feel the link between your feet and the ground. And that's the link, like you're coming back to the ground, back to earth, really reflecting on everything that's happened. Almost like so far in the album, so far in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I completely stand by the fact that this album 100% is the thing where you keep peeling back different layers each time. You keep unlocking these levels of kind of glorious context and application into your own life. And I don't know, this is one of these songs where each year you come back to it it just hits different.
Yeah, for such a simple song, I think it is timeless.
Yeah, 100%. So for me, I think it's amazing. This is one of the songs again that he played in the Let It Be sessions for the Beatles.
Absolute mugs.
And they didn't want it on the album. And you know what? My hot take, thank goodness they didn't take
Oh,
it.
no, I agree.
You know, I mean, I think one thing I will just say, because now that we're on the title track, I feel like I need to mention the album art.
Go.
And what is so fascinating to me is that so many of these songs were pitched in the Let It Be sessions for the Beatles, and they weren't obviously they weren't taken on. But what I think is really kind of interesting is that George Harrison decides to come out with this album in black and white film. It's a very kind of minimalist album art as things go. You have to think the Beatles were constantly always colourful, always kind of garish, bright, abstracted kind of album art, whereas this one was kind of the opposite. So again,
Oh, polar opposite.
yeah, so he kind of stepped out of that, and then to title it "All Things Must Pass," you know, you do. I mean, not to keep relating things to the Beatles, but
It's a statement straight away, isn't
it's a
it?
statement, and he was going through the motions, and that's what we're doing. And in this song, we are doing that.
Yeah, we are.
And in this song, I do think that it kind of perfectly captures just the album as a whole. And here's my hot take.
Uh-oh.
I want this song to be longer.
Oh, no, me too.
Okay, good.
That's not a hot take.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you want every song, most songs that exist in the world to be longer.
It needs to be 6 minutes or above. Every song for me. Most songs.
But I think especially in slow burners like this, in the same vein of like, isn't it a pity? That it's a song that needs to be longer.
But what I think, where the album does kind of fall down a tiny, tiny, tiny bit for me, is that he's got, what, like 11-minute tracks on there? And he's got some 7-minute tracks,
Yeah,
right?
he's not adverse to a long song.
No, he's not. So I say put it on this one.
Yeah, take my advice from all those songs where I said just cut it down a little bit, just cut it down a little bit, and put the extra minutes on this song instead.
Mm-hmm. I think
If only
the album had changed.
we were producing this album.
I know, right?
There we go. Yeah, so that brings a close to side C. So let's do a metaphorical flip of the record. Flip. And now on side D. Okay. Let's get into it. Starting with the song "I Dig Love."
I love Dig.
You know you love Dig.
So this song is just the most fucking stupid song. I am so confused. I mean, no, because it's not stupid. But you can't help but mix up the word dig with the word dick. And the fact that he's going on about
He's talking about how much he loves Richard.
he loves dig in the morning, in the evening, you know. It's just, I mean, either the man was really trying to heavily hint something, or the man had no fucking clue, or he just found it really funny. I mean, I just can't.
Yeah, that sort of brings me to what I'm saying on my notes down here. First of all, I'm gonna come to terms here, and I'm gonna ashamedly say it. It took until I listened to it once for Molly to explain the sort of hidden thing you might hear about the "I love Dig" bit in it. And obviously you can't unhear that once you've been told. But I've said, "Oh George, you fucking mad lad! Oh, isn't homosexuality hilarious?" That's literally my fault. That is it. He's got to be aware of it. It's a choice. He's made it a choice to make that joke here, and for me, it doesn't fucking land. personally.
I mean, I just don't know.
It's such a fucking stupid song. And like with songs like this and Apple Scruffs and a couple of others, which we'll get to in a bit, it makes me think, did this song really have to be did this album really have to be a triple album? If you
You
really
didn't
trim the
need this
fat,
song
trim the
on
fat
there.
of stupid songs like this.
Mm.
I know, like you said about I Wait on You All, you need those bits of brevity and change from the sort of slower melancholicness of most of the album. This song doesn't add anything.
No.
Yeah.
No, but the Beatles had a song called Dig It. And
Dig a Pony.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, people have also, I think, related it to the Beatles and said how he loves the Beatles and the word dig
Comes up a lot.
comes up and maybe it's kind of related to that. So I don't know.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, that's the thing is it's kind of we don't know if it's a joke, we don't know
Yeah,
if
we're only looking surface level, really.
yeah, and I think I'm almost not in a position right now to even speculate on any of that. I just think in terms of the music,
Yeah, the song itself.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think
Yeah, it's not even like a well written song.
no, it's just it's one of the things that just makes me want to go like, like I just want to make horse noises at this song.
I just think considering all the different openers for like each side of the record have been like stellar so far.
Oh yeah.
And then they open up side of this, and it's like,
One thing I will say as well is this was the track that took the longest amount of takes.
Are you joking?
It took 20 takes, which is long.
Probably because he was just laughing the entire time.
Yeah. Which says a lot because this is one of the worst songs on the album.
Also, I'm just saying, 20 takes is not a lot either.
No, it's not. But for George...
I take 20 takes just to do like 10 seconds of recording.
Yeah.
At least.
Well, for George, yeah, I'm pretty sure that he's like a 1 take, 2 take kind of guy.
Yeah.
It's very rare that he'd have to kind of go above 10. So for him to do 20, I think the studio was maybe shaking a bit, but that's it. It's just bonkers. Anyway, next.
You can start this next one off. Art of Dying.
Art of Dying.
Art of Dying.
What? Why?
It sounded like you said Heart of Dying then.
Art of Dying?
It sounded like you said Heart of Dying. I misheard you. I'm deaf.
Oh, right, okay. I thought you were taking the piss out of my accent.
No.
No, sorry.
Never. What? I never do that.
Yeah. I wrote here my first... No, I'm going to just read my bullet points. I do sometimes enjoy doing that. First bullet point, I love this song. Second bullet point, Phil fucking Spector, in caps. Third point, this song is the one that reminds me of most of the Lennon tracks.
It is very Lennon.
Specifically the album Mind Games.
Great album.
Great album. But yeah, there's just something about I don't know, Art of Dying that's just it's just a fucking great song. But it's also, if Lennon would have written a song, I feel like it would have been this one on the album. And then also, I put here a sinister collection of lyrics based on
Sinister.
yeah,
Bit of Sinister Minister.
based on reincarnation.
Yeah, Joe, I've never really listened to the lyrics very much, but I can see that. It sort of ties into his beliefs, doesn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, you go.
What I'm about to say about this song might sound a bit like I'm taking the piss, a bit like a shitpost. I promise you, it comes from a place of love. It's genuine, it's heartfelt. I'll start off by saying I love this song. It is brilliant. This is one of the ones where Phil Spector went extra and it paid off, for sure, like you said. I'm just going to read my notes as well. So I said, first of all, it turns out that George found out about Shaft a year before the film came out.
Right.
Those trumpets, very Shaft.
It is very Shaft.
That's Shaft all over, mate.
If anyone who doesn't know the Shaft soundtrack, check that shit out.
Isaac Hayes. By the way, it's going to be one of our albums to talk about as well.
Yeah, it is. It's just amazing.
It's very good. Very
Great
good.
album.
Very good.
Go. Anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, Shaft came out a year later. So maybe he had some inside knowledge. Is what I'm thinking. It's very slick. It's a very slick song.
It's slick.
Yeah. It makes you want to put on a leather jacket and a turtleneck and do forward rolls on a pavement.
I love that.
It sounds like it should be the soundtrack to a spy thriller. This song to me,
To what?
like a spy thriller,
Oh, a spy thriller.
like a
But
like
you said Spice Runner.
a spy thriller. What,
Yeah.
like in The Mandalorian. I mean, it probably would work there as well.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking more like a James Bond, like a British.
A bit more cool then.
Yeah, it's the trumpets. It's the Shaft trumpets, and him talking about the art of dying. Oh, it's all very Bond.
There's something about the Shaft trumpets that make you want to take on a different personality. I can't explain it, but
Let's not get onto Shaft now.
yeah,
While
okay.
we're talking about this album.
Yeah, sorry.
Another thing I said about the trumpets, again, this is where you might think it's Colin Ryan, you're taking the piss now. The trumpets also remind me of something else. This will directly, hopefully, appeal to you. The trumpets remind me of the seminal track from Robbie Williams' Escapology,
Oh, what album?
Me and My Monkey. Tell me those trumpets aren't the exact same. Right, for any of you that want to hear it, Spotify. The song is called Me and My Monkey by Robbie Williams.
And it's the most stupid song
It's
ever
a fucking
made.
ridiculous song. The trumpets, very
Shaft.
Art of Dying, very Shaft.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as much as that's a stupid song, this one isn't, but they're both very enjoyable to listen to.
I would like to rename this track Art of Shaft.
Art of Shaft and My Monkey.
Yeah, Art of Shaft and My Monkey.
But yeah, it's one of being serious now. It is one of the most dynamically interesting songs on the album. There's a lot of I'm getting this now. I'm making like a noise, like I'm feeling slick now. I'm this close from just doing a forward roll right in front of you.
The man's got his bare legs out.
I'm not even sure if I can do a forward roll anymore.
No.
Do you remember that
Yeah,
time?
you can.
I tried doing a backward roll the other day, didn't I? And I got about as far as doing like a headstand.
Yeah, but the issue was Ryan decided to do it in the middle of a crowded living room where he
Crowded
was.
living room? What, a crowd of people around me going, Ryan.
No,
Backwards roll.
I was the crowd. But my issue was that you
There was
did
little space.
you did not assess the situation before you did it. You just started doing it, and mid roll, I was.
I'm sorry,
my heart
but
was coming out my mouth.
That's the art of Shaft and his monkey mentality that
I wouldn't
someone
even
like me's gonna
mind.
have.
We weren't even. I can't even remember what we. I think we might have been in silence, which makes it.
Oh
even
no, I probably was
worse.
listening to Turnstile or something.
No.
Turnstile makes me do shit like that.
No, I get that, but I feel like we were definitely in silence. This was like, I feel like it was when we're
I know,
going to bed or
I
something.
was just seeing if I could do a backward roll still.
Yeah, it was definitely a transitional point in the evening.
You could say that the backwards roll is a transitional move itself. Transitioning
Wow.
from my seated position on the floor to the bed.
Wow.
Anyway, what a class song this is.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on. Isn't it a pity? Version 2.
You could probably do a forward roll. You're just thinking about it.
Shall I try one right now?
No, there's not enough room. No, don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm clear space.
There's not enough room.
I'm clear space. Hold my mic. Can you aim this mic at the vicinity of me doing a forward roll so the listener can get all of the audio, please?
I need you to do this.
We might need to start filming this soon.
I need you to do this so quickly because this whole podcast is going to be about 5 hours long, and you're the one that's going to have to edit it.
I'll do it in the hallway.
All right, he's going to do it in the hallway instead. For the benefit of the radio, Ryan has just taken his 5-panel cap off. And just to show you what he's wearing in terms of description, he's wearing some cream socks. He's wearing some grey pajama shorts. From when he was 14. And he's also wearing a white t-shirt with then a classic shirt over the top. A checked shirt, long sleeve check shirt. Yeah, I'm ready. Oh, I'm scared.
I'm
Ryan just bent down and I heard so many cracks.
Right.
You're not even on the floor yet.
Can I get a countdown, please?
Okay, countdown. How to count down from what?
Not 70.
All right, I don't know many numbers, so I'll go from 5. 5. 4.
No, quicker. That's a really tense countdown. Quicker, please.
All right, quicker. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He did it. He did it. And he kind of rolled back. Wow, how was that adrenaline trip?
Hang on, let me grab the mic.
How alive do you feel right now?
Honestly.
You look insane.
Oh,
You look wired.
I feel insane. That was incredible. Honestly, you should do that every now and then. Maybe next time you should do one.
No, I can do one.
Yeah, I don't believe you.
I can do one.
My heart is racing so hard right away.
Is it?
Right. Anyway, back to it.
Yeah.
Isn't it a pity version 2?
Oh, isn't it a pity we're not doing this on video?
Hey! Like and subscribe and leave us a comment saying how much you want us to be a video podcast, and I'll find the charger to my camera.
No, we're never going to do I'm sorry.
No,
we're
I'm
never
taking
going
the
to do
piss.
that.
We're never going to do that.
Ryan, look at you. You're wearing 14-year-old boy shorts.
Molly, shut up. I look fucking good in these 14-year-old boy shorts. This
all
song,
right.
you're chatting shit while we're talking about this song.
Sorry.
Isn't it pity version 2? It's like, isn't it a pity version 1? Basically. Shorter. Less busy. Less going on. Very good. Oh. Molly, watch out. Library fines. I just prefer version 1. That's all I'm saying. I prefer that version 1 is a bit more full and in your face. And longer. That's all I've got to say. Molly was giving me the universal sign for hurry the fuck up just now.
Yeah, because Ryan there was a siren that was going past, and immediately Ryan stopped in his thoughts, and you looked like you were going to comment on it.
I was trying to think of a way I could then rinse you from it.
No. See, that's the issue here. It's this song that maybe we don't need to say too much on. We don't need. You've just done a fucking forward roll, man.
Hurry up then.
Oh no! Don't do it back to me. Right, I'm going to read my 2 notes. Isn't it a pity part 2? It kind of reminds me of the way that Arcade Fire...
I thought you were going to say...
Oh.
No, sorry, but I thought you were going to say, isn't it a pity part 2? It kind of reminds me of Isn't it a pity part 1?
No, Arcade Fire, the Suburbs, they have...
Yes.
The album, The Suburbs, they have this song that is... What is it? The Suburbs Continued?
Something like that.
Or extended, or it's continued, I think.
Suburbs Revisited.
Revisited.
It's not called that, I just made that up.
Oh, it's the Suburbs Continued. It is
that what it's
definitely.
called? Okay.
I've written it on my notes. I just didn't read. And what? What do you have to say?
No, sorry, I'm just getting excited. You carry on. It's fine.
No, because now I
No.
know.
I'll talk about this at the end of the podcast. Okay.
Fine. This is kind of the more stripped back mellow version, I think. It's kind of got a really graceful piano. It's kind of an enlightening tune. I think it's personally a masterclass in production. I really like the song. I think it's gorgeous. I think the way the Arcade Fire in the Suburbs, they have their second song that's more of a kind of a wind down version.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the continued version of the Suburbs.
You need to stop talking about this.
I just love it, but like this
Molly,
is...
save it.
But the second part to Isn't It a Pity?
Yeah.
I think it fits in the album perfectly, and I think it's great.
I think it's great.
I love it.
It does its job to
It does.
perfection.
It does. Anyway, that's it. Next.
The last song of side D, Hear Me Lord. can start this one.
Okay. I think it's a really strong song, and for me, it's partnered with Run of the Mill in the
Yeah.
album. I like the idea of having kind of a sister song.
Mirrors across each side.
I don't know whether or not they're kind of opposites or whether they're similar. I love the idea of having songs that you can put together that kind of almost like a bit of a puzzle that kind of lead you in a certain direction. I really like that. I love an album that's dense like that. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I like that as well.
But anyway, Run of the Mill and My Sweet Lord. I said here, there's an impatience and a deep questioning throughout these tracks that make me think of George's spiritual journey and responsibility to be himself, find himself. He was definitely a Beatle through and through. That's what I wrote here, because the Beatles were always striving. And I mean, as individuals, actually, really, they were all kind of very open about their spiritual journey, and they were also really kind of deeply rooted in finding themselves. And I don't know whether that just came with the fact that they were the Beatles.
Yeah.
And finding yourself, I imagine, is fucking impossible as someone in the public eye.
Yeah, I've lived 26 years and I still don't know who I am.
Yeah. So, imagine having to make music and make mistakes in front of people and, deal with consequences kind of in kind of more brutal ways than we ever would. I don't know. I just think that one of these tracks like Hear Me Lord and things like that, I just think when there's kind of a desperation behind the lyrics to find yourself, and there's in the lyrics especially, there's that impatience, and especially on Hear Me Lord and My Sweet Lord, I really want to see you, all this kind of stuff. I just think that's someone who
Desperate.
is so desperate, and I'm fucking sad about that. Like, it's one of those songs that, maybe I think this is one of the saddest songs on the album for me anyway.
100%.
Yeah, it's savage.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And I always see personally, like I said, I know I shit on it a little bit, and I said that this album could easily be a double album rather than a triple album. So I always technically see this as the end of disc 2 as the last song on the album. Personally, is the way that I see it, the last proper song. And I think it fits that mold incredibly well. It's really, really good. I sort of think that whenever I hear this song, it should be on a movie soundtrack. That desperation we spoke about, a bit like a bit like
My Sweet Lord.
There you go, My Sweet Lord. There is that desperation and sort of calling out. And I sort of saw it in like two ways, because I like to almost like to visualize things when I listen to like songs like this, especially when there's so much like mythos going on as you listen to it. One of those things that I wrote about last time, so imagine it's someone who's really, really down the luck. Things couldn't get any worse, and they're begging for some sort of help or forgiveness or a glimmer of hope. That's one way I saw it. And the other way I saw it when I was listening to it this morning, clearly it's the 26-year-old head on me.
There you go.
Someone who's already died and is in that sort of like afterlife bit where they are begging for forgiveness for things they did wrong in their life. And it's like you said, either way, whatever way you want to interpret it, it's a sad song, it's a tragic song, it's a desperate song, it's an emotional song. It's beautiful, it's proper dark, and I love it.
Yeah.
And like that bit where you've got the harmonies in the background singing the Hear Me Lord on repeat, Hear Me Lord, and all that. That just sends me to the shadow realm every time. It's that dark and beautiful and emotional. It's the perfect end to the album, not just side D or that second disc. It's the perfect album closer for me.
I think that's really interesting, especially if you're thinking about in terms of if it's someone who has passed.
Yeah.
Then if it's a closer, that's the end of your life.
Absolutely.
So for me, I think that would be that, or it would be great to have this as the opener of the final album.
You're almost thinking like a Kendrick Dam
Yeah, I
situation
am.
here.
Like, because, so Kendrick Dam is amazing because, the album Dam is because you can either choose to listen to it backwards or you can listen to it forwards. And
It's like a story that's told
it's
as
a
narrative.
story,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's basically, you can choose, I think, whether the man is incarcerated and dies,
Yeah.
or
Or he
you
lives as a
can,
free and good man.
yeah.
I think he dies both times regardless.
Yeah, I think
but
he
it's
dies
whether
both times.
he is a good person or a bad person. Essentially.
However, the point is that it's one of those albums that's so fucking tangible that you kind of, I love the fact that you've kind of got this autonomy to, you have to navigate the album yourself rather than sitting and listening track by track. And I don't know, there's just one album in particular, I don't even know why it's just come to my head, but you know, Adele's album 21?
Yeah, the one we really like.
Yeah. That album, for me, you listen to it down, you know, and it's just
Linear.
kind of...
It's very linear.
Yeah, and it's done. And it's a great album. But also there's nothing you can really hold on to and form for yourself.
Yeah.
No. And I think you can listen to it only so far. Whereas one of these albums, like Kendrick's, like this, there's just something about them that's just so fucking fluid. And I think sometimes artists can go past and transcend album making in itself.
Yeah.
And I think Kendrick with Damn, and I think this one, and I think I think he just missed the fucking mark, because if he'd have started maybe what were we on, side D? Side D with this song, or finished with this song.
Yeah.
That would have been great for me, because interesting that you say about, you know, if we've been discussing reincarnation through the album, we've been discussing things that must pass, like as in die. It does make you think, that, you know, the bit where he's saying above and below us.
Yeah.
That you're talking about above
heaven and hell.
Heaven and hell,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
you're talking about people who have died, who are below
Yeah,
us in the
yeah.
ground, or
But also
maybe there's some kind of
spirits and
spirit,
Yeah.
you know, or angel, or whatever things he's choosing to believe in. There's clearly something where he's desperate in between, you know, he's in this kind of in between where he's on ground on earth, and that's almost enough for him. But there's something where he kind of wants to spread.
He wants more.
He wants a little bit more. And I love it.
As much as I love the silly shit, I love when we get philosophical about this sort of thing. Because it can be interpreted so many ways. It's not a wishy-washy song by any means, but it's, you know, like, oh,
No.
I interpret it as this, I interpret it as this, and completely different things. Clearly there's like a roundabout theme, but it's amazing. You take it in so many different directions from there.
Yeah, and
So
I
almost to
think
summarise what you said.
that's why I like Run of the Mill as well, because another thing that I appreciate from this album is, you know, if he's singing these desperate pleas for forgiveness or enlightenment or whatever, where's that going to? Was this album created for the listener, where he's kind of asking us, are we meant to be changing part of his path? Or is he asking it for himself, making the album for himself?
Journey.
Is it a personal journey? And then also, because for sure what you can tick off is this was never an album that was made, I don't think in my eyes, for capital benefit.
Oh no, it's a piece of art.
Yeah, it's not a commercial
ahead
album.
of it being a commercial piece of music.
Yeah, and I think exactly that's just it. So who's it going to? So that's what this song makes me think of is, you know, I like to think of this album as well, of it kind of being mirrored. So, you know, in Run of the Mill, where I mentioned about how I feel like God replies within the song.
Yeah.
I almost feel like it's interesting that then, you know, he's got this even set of the album, and then he kind of releases all these demos as well and kind of mirrors the album. I don't know, maybe there's something there. But also what I will say is, if we're talking about who the album's going to, I would love to know what's coming back to him. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when he makes it.
What does he get out of it?
Yeah. I don't know. That's just my first
Deep.
thought.
Very deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the end of like the main bulk of the album.
And I wish it was the end of the album.
It should be in my
But
eyes.
do you know what? Saying that, there are some great tracks, but
Yeah, in my opinion, it should be the end of the album. It should be a double
I
album.
wouldn't be mad if it was the end.
But we will talk about disc 3. Starting off with, well, controversially in Molly's eyes, Out of the Blue.
Oh,
Tell us about this song.
so is this the order that we listen to it in?
We're going for this is the actual order on the actual album.
Okay, fine.
Original cut.
Whatever, Trevor. All right. So okay, fine. So Out of the Blue.
I'm trying to lead you on here because you always get mad that Out of the Blue is here because I think you listen to a different version of Out of the Blue in a different place.
Yeah, Out of the Blue is a closer. I'm gonna stand by that forever. Because it was when anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
No, get into it.
But I think the issue is we've listened to different orders, and when Ryan and I have listened to this album together, Out of the Blue is after Hear Me Lord.
Yeah.
So now, whereas when I've listened to it in the past, it's been at the end.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of a very different. I don't know. When you move tracks about, it disrupts the flow completely.
It disrupts Molly.
It disrupts Molly. Her thoughts are just all over the place. But anyway, I'm going to read it because I've not done myself any favours. I've actually put it...
You put it where you think it should be. Yeah,
of course. So this was actually an improvised instrumental, this whole thing. So one take, baby.
Lots of these songs were, aren't they? Apple Jams.
Yeah, Apple Jams. Yeah. And it's the longest track on the album. Is it like 11 minutes or something?
Yeah, I want to say it's like around like 11, 12, 13.
But anyway, yeah, all I'm going to say here, fucking Bobby Keys. So Bobby Keys was the saxophone player in this song. And he also played on Whatever Gets You Through the Night by John Lennon. And I think maybe the entire album. Anyway, yeah, I remember his name because I spotted it. It was like when we were like just kind of looking for information on the album casually. And I did notice that Bobby Keys, his name was on it, and I remember his name because how can you not? How can
He's
you?
called Bobby
He's
Keys.
called Bobby Keys. That's just he was made for music.
But he plays brass.
He plays brass.
Doesn't play keys.
No. I just love it. I just think it's amazing.
I would retrain if I had that name.
Yeah, me too. So yeah, he was made for music, which I love. And I think the saxophone playing in this, I mean, all of the playing in this, outstanding. Flawless. Love it. And structurally, I've put here, this song actually closed the album on All Things Must Pass, 2001 reissue. And then
that's Molly's issue.
It's what it says here. And then when it was titled Apple Jam, it was actually the opener of the third vinyl disc. Or the second one. Third.
Yeah.
Fuck, I can't even... I'm so muddled now because of this.
Because you've been thrown off by that change of order.
Doesn't even matter. That's what I need to say on Out of the Blue. I love the song. I think it is... For me, get rid of the rest of the ones coming up.
Wow. Hot take.
No, actually, no. Get rid of 3 of the ones coming up.
Okay.
And this would be the closer or the second. I think Hear Me Lord should be last. Out of the Blue should be before this. Done. Closed album.
So you think it should be on the main album? Not even
like
a
should be on
bonus
the main
jam
album.
sesh.
No, I think this is great.
Interesting.
I think sometimes, I mean, I'm a massive, massive, massive instrumental person.
Instrumental, Stanley caller.
Yeah, I fucking love an instrumental. There's so many great albums with instrumentals. Pink Floyd, masterclass in instrumentals. I just think with a George Harrison album like this, All Things Must Pass, it's so deep and complex and you need time to reflect. Instrumentals are there to keep you both engaged, but also to let you sink down and reflect on what you're listening to.
I think that's where I agree with you and your point about putting this song somewhere in the main bulk of the album, because I'll get onto it when I talk about these songs in a minute. I'm less of a no. I want to completely go back on what I've just said. I am an instrumental fan as well. When instrumentals are done well and they're interesting, I'm up for it. But when you've got 5 instrumentals bunged on the end of an album as an Apple Jams disc, it sort of takes away from what they could be really useful for in an album compared to if they were mixed in with the main bulk of the album.
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
I agree with that. Yeah, and what I will say is, not to make all this about John Lennon, but John Lennon has a similar titled song. I think his is Out the Blue rather than Out of the Blue. Anyway, they're not necessarily similar, and they're not partner songs by any means, but I just thought it was kind of interesting that 2 people from the same band have nearly exactly the same titled songs. I just find that interesting. Anyway, I'll let you take it from here.
So, to follow on from what I said just now, I will continue standing by the point of this album should have ended after Hear Me Lord.
Yeah, we both will.
None of these songs really do anything for me. I'll say that straight away. So my critiques will be very, very brief compared to yours.
Me too.
This is more your kind of thing than mine. I like an instrumental. I don't like an instrumental that's too long. I certainly don't like an instrumental that goes nowhere. And lots of these don't really go anywhere. They're just really good jam, like bluesy jam sessions. And that's all they are to me. So I've just written here one bullet point. It's a good instrumental jam, innit? Next.
Yeah. Next is It's Johnny's Birthday.
It's Johnny's birthday, it's Johnny's birthday, and it's so nice to have you back, so be our guest. And Johnny's birthday.
So, this is the one where I actually wrote something a little bit different. So I said, guess what, motherfucker?
What?
It's Johnny's birthday. And, guess what?
What?
I spiked the birthday cake with LSD. Have fun, bitch.
Yeah, that describes this song perfectly, actually.
That's it. That's my comment. Your turn.
Okay. I just put as my comment, it's just a bit of banter, really. Basically...
This one actually was for John Lennon.
Yeah, John Lennon, it was his birthday. But, again... People have speculated that if you're going to put a birthday track in...
This isn't the most genuine, is it?
No, it's not. It kind of... for anyone who's not listened to it, it kind of... What Ryan said about the LSD trip, that's where the song goes. So it's not worth listening to, really. But it kind of... do you remember I mentioned earlier about a balloon? And how when it's kind of... doing its...
Yeah, flying around the room.
That's what this song is. It's just kind of... it's a balloon losing steam.
It veers in and out of consciousness and stability.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just fucking... Why would you... No one's going to play it on any birthday. It's not going to be one of those tracks. Because it's so hellish to listen to.
Let's just ruin the surprise. It's going to play it on your birthday.
Oh. Anyway, next song, please.
Then we got Plug Me In. You can start.
Oop. This is... Fucking hell. This is really bad of me. I don't agree with it. I agree with it in some kind of...
What do you mean you don't agree with it?
I'm just... So I wrote here, Clapton is God. But I didn't write it into... No, I didn't write it in terms of me thinking that.
No, fair.
I wrote it in terms of... Fucking hell, like... Yeah, it's one of these, again, Apple Jam sessions. It's just fucking amazing. And I said, not related, but 9 minutes ago, Ozzy Osbourne has a news article saying that Clapton used to follow him round and made him paranoid as fuck, which is real life. When we were listening to this...
Sorry, my voice gone. like the Black Sabbath song.
Yeah.
Finish with Eric Clapton, 'cause he couldn't help me with my mind.
Yeah, but
Paranoid. That was Paranoid, by the way.
Yeah.
I changed the lyrics for anyone who didn't know.
there you go. Basically what I was just about to say, I don't know this.
Thanks for no sign
This
of that.
essentially, well, it was okay, but the issue here is that. Oh, I'm getting so. This is so frustrating because we're on the shit part of the album.
Sorry, I'll
It's
stop.
so
shit
hot
talking
in
now.
here. I'm hungry, and you're taking the piss out of me.
All right, okay, fine. Go.
Right. I wrote here. Fucking, I can't believe it. This is fucking annoying because my notes aren't even. No one understands. If you read this, you'd be like, "What the fuck is?"
You have to show me afterwards.
Doesn't even make sense. But yeah, basically, Eric Clapton, one of the greatest songwriters and guitar players and musicians to ever live. Absolute dickhead, bellend, hate the guy, but I fucking love the stuff he puts out. The way he can hold a melody, the way that he can kind of feel through songs, and I don't know, he just makes the most fucking bluesy, beautiful. I don't know. They're like liquid gold. Everything he touches is liquid gold, and I fucking hate that. I'm not gonna get into why I hate Eric Clapton, but
Politics.
yeah, but essentially, he played in this. He plays on a lot of them, actually. Eric Clapton had his fucking fingers in every single pie. But yeah, you can just tell because again, it's just fucking glorious. But I think what I wrote here, Clapton is God. That's what I meant. Is it's very famous that everyone used to say Clapton is God, and there's this amazing photograph where someone spray painted Clapton is God on this very kind of working class brick wall, very kind of dilapidated and shitty. And while it says Clapton is God in graffiti, there's a dog weeing on it, and it's just amazing. It's just a great
Clapton
picture.
is dog.
Clapton is dog. So that's why I wrote it. And where Ozzy comes into this is it just happened to be fate that as we were listening to this song, I opened the internet and a news article popped up, because sometimes they do, and it said that Ozzy Osbourne 9 minutes ago released a statement saying that Eric Clapton used to follow him around and made him actually paranoid. So
there you go.
There you go. It was just a little full circle moment that I thought
was a roundabout the houses, but certainly a very full circle moment.
So there you go. I like this song, but I don't like it on this album.
Okay. I've sort of continued a narrative here. So if we started off with, this is a good instrumental, and now I've eaten a birthday cake full of LSD. That birthday cake made me do a 50s style rock and roll jam. That's what this song is.
Yeah.
Okay, next. The next song is called Plug Me In. I'll start off. No, that's not what we just spoke about.
That's what we just did.
You can tell how much I don't really give a shit about this part of the album. Because they all blend into one for me.
They do.
Right. That's a faux pas. The next song is called I Remember Jeep, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, hear me out. Hear me out. There's some little synth noises in this song that are cool.
I know what you're gonna say.
That was my bit of praise. That was it.
Oh.
The other bit of praise is that it's amazing. You know, in like Transformers, where
I've never seen it.
no, but you understand the concept of Transformers.
Trucks that turn into men.
Yeah, roughly. Transformers, trucks that turn into men. No.
Oh yeah, it's robots,
they're robots
in disguise.
Molly. That's the whole point.
Of course, right.
So they're robots
In disguise. Sorry.
They're in disguise. Now I understand why you're annoyed with me.
Yeah, it's fucking annoying. I'm sorry.
They're robots that turn into different machines. Right, not just trucks. That was Optimus Prime, by the way.
Wait, so it was just machines turned into men?
No, there's no men. They're not men. They're robots. They're robots that turn into machines, such as vehicles.
Oh, so just cars and trucks.
Normally vehicles, yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes they weren't though.
All right.
Like you had one that like turns into like a phone.
Was anyone a fridge or like a microwave?
You'd be a fucking fridge or microwave if you were a transformer.
All right.
Sorry.
Actually, no, because this is a common question. If
you were a transformer, what would you transform into?
No, if you were any
Listeners, comments.
No, if you were any household object, what would you be? And I have always said kettle.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
There
I
you
was
go.
literally about to say kettle.
Well, there, fine. Anyway, I'm really sorry.
Most versatile, useful
Yeah.
kitchen tool.
Also, if
I'm losing my track of what I was going to say.
no, I was going to say if I was a transformer, I'd be a kettle. That's what I'd turn into. I would be a kettle, and then I would turn into a man.
So in Transformers, there was the Autobots. They were the faces or goodies, and there was the Decepticons, the baddies or heels.
Oh, I'm bored already.
Would you?
Sorry. I
Rude.
just fucking hate the concept. It's stupid.
Would you be a baddie or a goodie?
What does that even mean?
Would you be a bad robot or a good robot? A face or a heel?
Well, what can I choose to be as object? If
If you say you're this transformer that turns into a kettle.
I would be good because I do good in the house.
See, I would have made you a Decepticon, a baddie, because kettles can burn people.
But they can also heal people.
How do kettles heal people? Have I been using kettles wrong all this time?
No, it's
Anyway, my point was, again, going full circle back to my original point. This song, I Remember Jeep, is the robot called Plug Me In that's transformed into a Jeep, like a transformer, because it's the same song. That's all. Thank you. Good night.
Oh, all right. That was all right. I can get all right.
You see that visual
I'm following
metaphor?
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm right there with you. Okay.
What do you think about this one? Molly the
kettle.
kettle. Kettles are on.
What do I think? I'm still thinking about the transformer thing. I'm not gonna lie.
Transformers made this really cool noise when they transform. It's like a bit like the question thing in 50/50.
Yeah, I was thinking. Yeah.
29.
What were they called? The robots.
What?
Did they have names? Like,
What robots? In Transformers?
well, you just talked about the robots weren't men, so I'm calling them robots now. Don't say what are the robots.
Yeah, so all the Transformers have different names.
Like Steve.
Optimus Prime.
Oh, Optimus Prime.
Steve.
I thought you meant like regular
Optimus
human
Prime
names.
and Bumblebee and Starscream. Megatron.
Starscream.
Yeah.
Shit name. Who came up with that?
Put some fucking respect on Starscream's name.
No, we'll not. What? You
Put
should
some
have
respect on Star Steve's
No.
name.
No. What you need to do, have fucking what are they called? Transformer
Yeah.
called Sir Frankie Crisp. And he turns into
A kettle.
he turns
It
into
turns into
an air fryer.
an electronic can opener. No, actually,
it has to be crisp
the air fryer is
related.
actually a very good pun. I was just trying to come up with the most pointless item, but actually, that's really good.
Yeah, because they make crisps.
Yeah, I get the joke.
Or an oven.
Anyway, what do
Or a
you
pantry.
think about this song, Molly? Stop thinking about
Sorry.
Transformers.
I remember Jeep. I put here another solid instrumental. And then also cows. Because in the song, if you listen really closely, there's cows in the background.
Coos!
Coos. So, there you go. That's it.
Right, final song of the album.
I mean, it depends who you're talking to.
Pepperoni.
That's what the song's called. Thanks for the pepperoni. Thanks for all the pepperoni you're bringing.
I mean, yeah.
Who
Fine.
can live without it? I ask in Italy. What would pizza be
This is genius. Carry on, please. This is so good.
without a song or pepperoni? What are we?
No, it can't be about songs. That's about music. Without this meat from the deli, I see. So I say
Thank you for the pepperoni, for
giving.
giving it to me. Great.
Anyway, this last song is called Thanks for the Pepperoni. You can start.
I wrote here, thank you for the pepperoni, because
Oh,
when
Molly.
we listened to this, you actually went to the shop to get corn
We
pepperoni.
made pizza, didn't we?
We did, we made pizza. So that's all
Aw.
I wrote for it.
George actually wrote a song for me.
Yeah, he did. So corn pepperoni for any listeners out there, it's really good.
It is. Put it on your own homemade pizzas.
It's really nice. About the song, yeah, just fucking take it off. Thanks for the pepperoni. Why is it closing this fucking masterpiece of an album? That's all I've got to say. It's fucking. It's a hilarious title, and it's such a serious fucking album. Well, in parts. I just think, George, come on, don't be a dickhead. That's it. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah, I've just said if we had this on record, I'll probably have to check it because I would have thought that the record has skipped and gone back to Plug Me In Again.
Yeah.
Same song 3 times in a row.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think that as the last thought in the album is kind of sad,
Yeah.
but it's what it is. As we said, I think we both interpret this album in our own ways and what bits we think are like the canon parts of the album, which bits you sort of disregard and think it's bonus content, it's extras. Yeah. Final thoughts on the album, Mol, before we get a rating.
Ooh.
Final comments.
My final comments, I guess. George Harrison has this fucking delicate way of layering, I don't know, generations of experience of your own life in his own music. It's fucking amazing.
That's deep.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's great. I think this album is fascinating. I don't think I'll ever get bored of it. I think in time I'll even appreciate Side D a lot more. Who knows? I might even become an Apple
An
Scruff.
Apple Scruff stan.
Yeah.
You might even become an Apple Scruff.
Apple Scruff.
That's your new Transformer name.
Yeah, it is Apple Scruff. Apple Scruff transform. Yeah, and then I also said that all things must pass sounds like a mantra for acceptance of the inevitability of decaying relationships. Or it also sounds like kind of a mantra that you'd say to yourself in terms of acknowledging that things have got to change. You know, whether that is something as heavy as death or something as kind of fleeting as the moment that you're in. But the point is that everything comes to an end, and that's not always a bad thing. So I think whilst this album carries you through somber moments, you know, it also fucking lifts you up and says, you know what? You can fucking get through this. And I love this album for that. It's a little known fact in our kind of networks that I love this album so much. And I went through kind of a lot of therapy in the last kind of few months, and we had this I guess it was like a deal, but it was more of like an internal deal for myself, that I wanted either All Things Must Pass on record or some kind of memorabilia to have once I've finished my therapy. And I think that's the perfect way to kind of conclude this album for me, is that it's you know, it's just fucking gorgeous. And whilst it kind of isn't the happiest album, because I think people would argue that this is one of the saddest albums ever made, I don't know, I just think it is just equal hopeful equal reflective, equal sad, and I don't know. I think it's amazing. And I wrote here, this was my final thought, and then it's all that has been, all that is, and all that might be. That's what this album is to me. So it's basically reflects on the past and the changes that you're kind of going through. It grounds you in the present. It wants you to kind of be within the album and live and breathe with it. But it also asks you to move on and kind of departs you on your way. And I love that. That's my conclusion.
Holy shit. I feel very inadequate right now. Because whereas you just come up with that absolute soliloquy of an explanation of your feelings behind this album and the deeper meanings behind your connection with it, I've not prepared anything at all.
I didn't prepare anything.
Yeah,
It
but
was
that's just
that
coming.
one
Yeah,
quote.
but mentally, you're very prepared by the sounds of it.
Okay. Well, no, I've had a lot of years to prepare for this.
That is true. I've listened to it far less. I was going to say it's a very, very good album. That's my analysis. No, it's not without its flaws. And I think even a 5-star album, we'll get onto ratings in seconds, can have flaws. But the good outweighs the bad so heavily.
Yeah.
That it's incredible. And I think I don't want to sort of like, dilly dally around what you've said, because you've covered a lot of like points that I completely agree with there. But I just want to almost go over that one thing you said again, where this album, I think in the sort of biographical sense of the time when George made it, the time when it came out, it was George in a transitional period of his life. And I think this album replicates that perfectly.
Yeah.
Of the fear, the excitement, all of those different emotions, acceptance, regret, anything that you might feel in that time between going through something that's been such a huge part of your life up until now to the next stage, the unknown.
Yeah.
That I think this album perfectly reflects it. Essentially, that's all I want to say, really.
What I would like to say finally, just relating back to the album art, is I think I kind of, in terms of the if I'm coming at it from like an art history kind of sense, what I think is fascinating from the actual image that was taken was there's if I remember rightly, there's 3 gnomes.
Yes.
On the front cover. And those 3 gnomes could potentially represent each beetle. And George is the only one that is kind of got blood and is kind of moving and is, I don't know.
He's alive.
He's
a living,
alive.
breathing
And the
thing.
rest of them are kind of clamped down to the floor. They're kind of immovable. And I don't know, how many is there?
There are 3.
Yeah. I don't know, I think I read like an analysis on it once where it was people saying that the fact that he's kind of sitting there, he's almost taking kind of ownership for his own journey now. And I think that's the perfect album cover for it, actually.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think it just represents where he is at.
George is moving on.
George is going away.
Toby!
Yes. So I won't sort of like beat around the bush. We both thought this was a 5-star album.
It is.
You more strongly than me on my first listen. Yeah. Because I think I'm sometimes a bit more pessimist, where I notice the flaws more than the positives.
We both do. Like, it depends what album.
Yeah, definitely a 5-star album.
Sometimes you're talking round.
A strong 5 if you take away that last disc and some of those weaker ones.
Yeah, I think
Apples cross, I'm looking at you.
If you did have that rejig of the album, for me, it'd go beyond a 5. It'd be in a different class.
Breaking the scale.
It would. It'd be Dave Meltzer scale. Off, it'd be like 6.
Shit.
Or 5.5. I don't know. But
Oh, I see you. Do you see you rolling back now?
But I just think where it takes you, its meaning, the work that was put into it, the production, everything about it is just world class. But Apple Scruffs, fucking Jeep songs,
dig love.
pepperoni songs. I think, just come on, take me out of it. Like,
Yeah. Regardless, yeah, solid album. Would recommend a listen.
great album.
Just to underrate it. I would normally ask you, a bit like last time, I asked you for the top 3 songs in the album, but it's such a long album, I don't think it's fair to do that, personally. So I wanted to stop you earlier because you kept on ragging on about Arcade Fire, the Suburbs. Now, you might be thinking, Ryan, why was I asking you to talk about that later? Well, listeners, that's because next time on the TTR podcast, TTR 4, we'll be covering The Suburbs by Arcade Fire. Oh.
It's perfect to go into after this one.
Is that why we choose it? Because I know this is a special request. You wanted to do this one.
Well, no, I can't remember why I think it was just that I kept coming back to it and I was just like, wow, this album's fascinating. That was it.
Well, we bought it on record. It's been dispatched today, so
Oof.
might be able to listen to it on wax. Before we review it. So yes,
sound better.
let us know what you think. Listen to All Things Must Pass.
Yeah.
Try the 50th anniversary version if you really love the album already and you want to hear some extra stuff. Anything to say to listeners before we finish, Mol?
Normally I would say no and then we'd cut off. So ask me again. But if you're someone who maybe the album is a little bit daunting because it's so fucking humongous, how about you give the listeners 3 tracks to listen to?
Oh, as someone who is newer to the album.
Yeah, and
Okay,
then I'll maybe do the same.
So you actually do want to do it?
Well, like not the best songs, but what do you think
Three
encapsulates
important songs.
the album?
Okay. I would straight away say All Things Must Pass is one. Not just because it's a title track, because I think it does represent all those themes.
I'll go with one after you then.
Alright, go on.
Run of the Mill.
Nice. Let It Down.
Gorgeous song. I think after that maybe I would go for If Not For You.
Solid. That was up there for me. I wanted to say not Beware of Darkness. I do love that song, but it's not. Yeah, I was gonna say I can't get my words out now. I was gonna say Art Dying, but I don't think it represents the album. It's very much a different song. So I want to say, isn't it a pity version one?
Oh yeah, that's a great shout. I think my final point would be, I think Hear Me Lord is such a great song.
I think from those 6 tracks we covered all bases really.
Yeah, you got to have like an out there.
Yeah,
one.
of course you do.
A wild card.
Yeah, we do need a wild one every now and then. Absolutely.
Yeah, we do. Have you got any final remarks?
No.